Hello. What's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to y'all. Good to see ya. What is up, T-Shanked Elf, Magic Sheep, Dylan Hunter, not fully confident. How's everyone doing today? Oh, wow. All right, so today, it's going to be a fun one. We got a sweet modern deck. We also have the full set of adventures in Forgotten Realms. Hey, what's up, Dylan Hunter? How are you? How y'all feeling about this set? What do you think? What do you think about Adventures of the Forgotten Realms? The full set is up. You can see it at mtgpreviews.com. I mean, I'm actually really excited for it. I'm excited for it, but I feel like its actual release is going to be September 8th. If that makes sense. I feel like it has a lot of cool cards, and I feel like once we have rotation, a lot of these cards are actually going to be good, but for the next 2 months, while we wait for rotation, I'm not expecting much to change in Standard. Like, I feel like it's going to be kind of the same. Lots of Lovestruck Bees and Bone Crushers and Ultimatums. Elves Huga, welcome to the Fishbowl for the 5th month. Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. But after rotation, when this is competing against, just look at the difference. Look at these sets. Look at the sets. After we have rotation, I feel like this is going to be a really strong, or at least reasonably strong set. Like, look at what it will be competing against. Let's just filter by the sets that will be in Standard after rotation. Then I think that a lot of the cards from the Dungeons and Dragons set from Forgotten Realms actually look good. Like, I feel like they will be actually constructed playable because the competition isn't going to be insane. We're not going to be talking about Lovestruck Beasts. We're not going to be talking about Emergent Ultimatums. We're going to be competing with Exorcists. We're going to be competing with Jace Mirror Mages and Haunting Voyages and Body of Minds and all these cool cards. I don't know if I've ever been so excited for rotation, honestly. Like, I really truly don't know if I've ever been so excited for rotation, because normally at rotation you get a new set. Some things change. I feel like this rotation, it's going to be a whole new format. Not only are we going to have new Innistrad cards, we're going to have so many cool things to try that just couldn't quite keep up with the Eldrains and the Icorias of the world, the Companions, the Adventures. There's so many cards that I was hyped for in Spoiler Season. Giants and Angels and Parties. There's so many cool things. So I'm really hyped, but I'm in wait and see mode. The good news is we still got Modern, and Modern is still awesome. So in the meantime, this summer, we can try out some cool new stuff. We can play some Modern, and then once rotation hits, Standard is going to be sweet, I think. I hope. I'm very hopeful. Hey, what's up, Doggy Myth? How are you? AK Tank, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. I want to try Future Standard, and we'll definitely do at least a stream of it. The only thing is it's best of one. Ugh. You see the collision. I got the collision. Like, is it worth it to play best of one to not have to play against Eldraine? Or do you play best of 3 but have to deal with Lovestruck Beasts and Brazen Borrowers and Bone Crusher Giants? I don't know. Before we get into our reminders and talk about this sweet deck and start playing Magic, what's your number one card? Now that we've seen the full set, what card are you most excited to build a deck around? What is your number one card? And that's actually hard, because even though the set might not look busted power level wise, there's so many cool things to do with this set. There's so many sweet things. I cannot wait to build Book of Isle Darkness. That is high on my list. I cannot wait to build Book of Exalted Deeds combo. That is very high on my list. Hey, welcome, Big Player of Multipass. Good to see ya. Hello. Good to have ya. Like, those are really high on my list of things. I want to build Dice Rolling. I don't expect it to be good, but I cannot wait to try to build it and just see what happens. I think it's going to be hilarious. Grandmaster of Flowers, I think that's the best Planeswalker in the set. The podcast is coming up after the stream. On the podcast today, I said I think Grandmaster Flowers best Planeswalker in the set, and I think Crim and Richard literally both burst out laughing. So, not as high on it as me, but the Blue Mythic Dragon, really good. I think that's a card that could see Standard play. Old Gnawbones is absurd. That's going to be really sweet. Even Death is good. This set has more power than people are giving it credit for. Here's what I think the problem is. Hey, what's up, Stone Ring? How are you? How goes the recovery? Here's the problem. I think when you look at this set and you think, okay, it doesn't look very powerful, that is for two big reasons. Well, let's go with three. One is it's not super pushed. I will admit that. But I think there's two reasons why it looks maybe worse than it really is power level wise. One is we're coming out of a historically insanely broken standard. Like Eldraine, Ikoria, Companions. Like we're coming out of a standard with the most broken mechanic and maybe the most broken set of all time. So nothing is going to live up to that. The other thing is we just got out of Modern Horizons 2 spoiler season, a set that doesn't even go into standard. So it's a really push set. And of course, when you look at random standard legal cards, they're not going to match up with Modern Horizons cards. You're not going to see Urza Sagas and other just like, whoa, jaw-dropping, insane stuff because I got to go into standard. But I think this set's going to be fun. I cannot wait to start playing with it. And we get to start on Thursday. The release schedule is super fast this time, like ridiculously fast. So we actually get to start playing on Thursday with a new card. So we'll do that on Thursday's stream. But anyway, today, and we'll talk about AFR as we go along, Demolition Flameskull, yeah, that does sound pretty fun. We'll talk about that as we go along. In the meantime, we're playing Modern today with this sweet brought back Boros deck. That's right, brought back is back in Modern. And this deck looks really interesting. This is another Evoke Elemental deck, but a kind of weird Boros-y take on it. I think this deck looks really interesting. Yeah, the Arena release is Thursday. We get tomorrow, we got the full set today. Tomorrow's pre-release, Thursday the set releases on Arena. Thursday. And then we get Commander spoilers Friday and Saturday. So we're not even out of spoiler season. And we already got the release. So this deck is spicy. Brought back lets you reanimate 2 permanents that went to your graveyard from the battlefield this turn tapped. So we can do some shenanigans. We got fetch lands, for example, that we can get back. Or Flagstones of Trokir. More importantly, this is a way we can evoke in Furies and Solitudes, get them back. We also have, in Modern, Showdown of the Scald, sacrifice it itself, get it back, draw a bunch more cards, get a bunch more counters on things. So there's tons of just weird shenanigans with this deck. Cleansing, wildfiring ourselves so we can brought back the lands. So there's tons of shenanigans with brought back in this deck. And eventually, as we bring things back and as we dig through our deck, we'll find Kiki and Felidar Guardian or Restoration Angel, and those allow us to win the game with infinite combo. We also have in the sideboard, and this was the thing that really caught my eye, is some Avalanche Rider action. Avalanche Rider sacks itself, flows a land when it comes into play. Avalanche Rider seems absolutely insane with brought back. Can you imagine Avalanche Rider, maybe Ephemerate it, then Avalanche Rider, then they both die, blow up like 5 lands, one-sided Armageddon. So I think this deck looks really spicy. So anyway, preview stream tomorrow, right? Oh. Preview stream dead and over, unfortunately. Apparently, it is not back yet as far as I've heard. So, but Thursday we can do our release day stream. Anyway, let's do our reminders. Then we'll finish talking about this deck. Then we'll jump into Magic, and then we can talk about AFR. We can talk about our weekends, whatever y'all want to do. Replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube. Tons of stuff coming up. Last daily spoiler for the main set today. Against odds tomorrow. Top 10 videos. Shorts, Commander spoilers, so much coming up on the YouTube. Have any decks ready for Thursday? If you have decks, you should send them to me. That would be very helpful. I got some stuff I'm working on. I'll show you the decks that I've been working on, and they're not completed yet. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom, and if you need some magical cards, you can get them from over at cardkingdom.com. You can get Forgotten Realms, you can get Full Art Pathways, you can get Realm Walkers. If you want it, they probably got a Jumpstart Lightning Bolt. No problem, you get it at cardkingdom.com. Even get a free MTG Goldfish ticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes and they'll hook you up. Otherwise, merch page, tokens, t-shirts, playmats, giveaways, support the stream and the channel and the site. Donations, always appreciated, never required. $2 or more gets your message read on stream. Hey, what's up, GM? Good to see ya. Oh, you like the shorts? Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, I'm glad that you like them. I think I'm actually really excited about the shorts for a few reasons, but one of the big reasons I'm excited about it is it lets me relive, and hopefully everyone else enjoys this, but there's been some really sweet things that have happened. We've been doing content for so long now. It's like 5 or 6 years, maybe longer than that. There's so many sweet things that happened like 3 years ago that you've probably forgotten about. I've probably forgotten about, but would make a really, really good short. So there's exciting stuff happening. There's exciting stuff happening on the YouTube. Some stuff I can't even talk about yet, honestly, that's going to be happening in the near future that I think y'all are going to be really excited about. So anyway, let's talk about our deck today. We already talked about kind of the main idea. Brought back to get back fetch lands, to get back Showdown of the Skulls, to get back Evoke Elementals, eventually getting us to Kiki-Jiki, Resto, Infinite Angels, or Kiki-Jiki Felidare Guardian for Infinite Cat Beasts, Avalanche Rider on the sideboard, basically grindy bought back graveyard shenanigans. We got Dranith Magistrate in the main deck, which is kind of spicy. I guess it's to fight the Cascade deck. The deck also has 4 Chalice of the Voids on the sideboard. Does not want to lose to Cascade. And then as a backup deck, if we get to deck 2, we have this weird Jund Vengevine deck. This straight up just like all creatures Chainer Nightmare Adept. Chainer Nightmare Adept in Modern. Cast them, Vengevines, Lotlith Trolls, Rixmati Revelers, weird pile of creatures with Vengevine. But we're starting with Brought Back Boros, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, as far as decks, what do you think the first against odds deck should be? I think that's really a tough choice. I'm torn on what the first against the odds deck should be. Some of the options for first against the odds deck is, I feel like either of the book artifacts are good ones. Vecna is top tier. Vecna, Book of Exalted Deeds, Book of Vile, whatever, the black one. Dungeon speedrunning. Dungeon speedrunning could be a budget deck. I feel like dungeon speedrunning might be good for budget. Tasha's Hideous Laughter, I think, is going to be sweet for older formats. We'll probably have to try Mono Blue Mill. Makes me a little bit scared to say that after our last experiences, but we'll probably have to do some more Mono Blue milling. Yeah, White Book with Faceless Haven seems pretty sweet. Red Mythic Dragon combo. What is the best way to get the Dragon combo? The best I've found, yeah, Infinite Dungeon Crawl in Legacy with Allurin is sweet. What is the best way to win with the Dragon? The best way I found is what is the 2-mana double a thing's power card? Something. Yeah, die rolling. Die rolling seems perfect. Oh yeah. The infinite die rolling. The like pixie twin with the die roller that can copy and the pixie that lets you roll more dice and try to go infinite and roll forever. That would be another top tier against odds possibility. That one also might be budget friendly. That could also be a budget deck maybe. New Loyal Doggo reminds me of the days of Wrath of God and Weathered Wayfarer. Yeah, the new dog, it reminds me of Night of the White Orchid. It's like very, very, very Night of the White Orchid. You don't think just attacking with it? Oh, with the dragon? Oh, I think the dragon is a good standalone card. Like, I think you can just play it as a standalone card, but to play it as it against the odds deck, I assume we'd have to go a little deeper than that. Count Joku and try to get the 20 damage mode. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Hey, happy birthday. Thank you for your subscription. Big tip for you. Thank you. UT Malison, Yukama Saito, Nader. Ooh, some blue-white dungeon action. Whoa, Coma's. Coma's on the top end? Can we keep this? We do have Fury, which is good if it's a creature deck. We could just stumble into a Kiki. We can Ghost Quarter ourselves. Yeah, we'll keep this. We can Ghost Quarter our Flagstones and brought them back. Oh boy, Monastery Schriftspiel. Okay. Opponent's going aggro. Sure. Down to 19. We will play a Sacred Foundry. I'm a little bit scared of the aggro. What is your favorite color legendary dragon? Ooh. I think the green one is the one that can do the craziest things. I think the green one's the one that does the craziest things. I would say, what is my favorite though? Do we have to kill this? Are we dying? All right. Flagstones. I think we gotta wait a turn. Pass the turn. Next turn might be the turn that we can get out from under this, hopefully. The classes are really sweet. I think as far as just like, hey, what's up, Dirty Sanchez? How are you? You like the red dragon the best? I could see arguments. Actually, the whole dragon cycle is pretty sweet. Like, if we look at the mythic dragons, they're all pretty decent. Opponent hits. Why are they not doing any more than this? It's sort of making me uncomfortable that our opponent just keeps attacking us. And not playing anything, and they're playing Forgotten. What is going on with this burn deck, or whatever our opponent's doing? The Mythic Dragons, though, I think, if I was going to tier rank them, based on how good I think they're going to be, as far as favorite, Old Gnawbones just does ridiculous things. Also, Inferno's kind of sweet. So probably red or green would just be favorite. But power level tier ranking of dragons, number 5 at the bottom of the list. Sadly, probably Old Gnawbones. It's 7 mana. 7 mana is a lot for standard. Hey, what's up, Voops Kinar? Not that it couldn't have a home in standard, but like, it compares to Nyx Bloom Ancient. And Nyx Bloom Ancient, we've done cool things with it, but I don't think it's going to be like a top tier standard card. So that'd be number 5. Number 4, Icing Death, the White Dragon. I think it could have a home after rotation. I think Mono White or Boros is going to be equipment based. It's probably going to be good there, but it's only a 4/3. It is a cool dragon though. So that'd be number 4. Number 3, this is where it gets hard because I think the top 3 are all very good. Ooh, number 3, I'm going to go with Inferno of the Star Mounts. Inferno, it's really, really good. Oh, boy. I don't even know if that's the right choice. The top 3 are all very close, I would say. But I'm going to go with Inferno. Inferno, worst craze, great sideboard card to deal with control decks. And I think it could be main deckable. 6/6 Flying Haste is a legit clock. Can't be countered. Has some janky against the odd stuff. Number 2, Eben Death. Eben Death, 5 power, 4 mana, keeps coming back from the graveyard, control decks, mono black decks, could have a chance outside of standard. Number 1 for standard, Imareth, the blue dragon. It's like Dragon Lord Ojutai, and Dragon Lord Ojutai was great, so Inferno is worth an Icy Death. I mean, that's just my personal tier ranking. Not that it's right, but anyway, we should also play a bit of Magic. Let's play it slow, play it safe. Play a ghost. You know, we're going to play a blocker. You know what? Let's just recruit her. Let's just recruit. What's the worst that can happen if we recruit? How is the ranking of the top dragons? Yeah. that actually would be a good short, wouldn't it? Although when I did a tier ranking of the elementals from MH2, it wasn't a very popular short. I mean, I guess we're Magus of the Moon? Oh my goodness. All right, chat, tell me how ridiculous this is. I don't want to darken the mood too much, but all right, so this person that I know. What? We're in a modern league, right? We are in a modern. What is Woo! Okay, that's a gutter. We're gonna die to gutter snipe in a modern league. Oh, that's the best thing I've ever seen. A gutter snipe in a modern league. All right, we go to 13. We untap. Well, now we're almost certainly gonna have to Fury. All right, let's think carefully about this. That means we gotta pitch the Kiki? That's awkward. But we can't let him untap with gutter snipe. We're so dead if they untap with gutter snipe. I was not expecting the gutter snipe, not even a little. All right, so let's think about this. So we Fury, kill both. Then we can brought back the Fury and a land and play Draneth Magistrate, but we're going to lose our Kiki? I mean, I guess that's what we got to do. All right, so let's see. Float a mana. Flagstones. Keep the new one. Flagstones dies. Yes. Get a Sacred Foundry. No. Fury. Painfully exile Kiki. Two and two. Get rid of that Gutter Snipe, which was going to kill us. So opponent can Lava Dart, sack a land, pump, hit us. That's okay, though. That's okay. That's okay. Opponent. So stuff dies. But we have a brought back. Actually, maybe we should have played it first. That might have been better. Keep a Flagstones. Yeah, I mean, I guess I keep forgetting that Dranith Magistrate actually does things, but that actually does shut down Flashback. Maybe Dranith Magistrate is like amazing tech in Modern and we're just totally missing it. So kill that. Play probably a little bit slower than we should have. Dranith Magistrate, pass the turn. Thranks, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to you for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, Gutter Snipe can deal some damage. Oh, good thing we got rid of it. Manamorphose. Oh, so chat, over the weekend, I found out that someone I know, their father, alright, yeah. Lightning bolts. Fruity, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to you for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, the Primal Shift deck looks super spicy. I like the spiciness. Wow, we're at 4? Jeez, we do have very good sideboard cards for this matchup, which is good. How do we not die? 4 is not much life. Well, go to combat. Hit you with Fury. I don't know if we can get out of this. Fury you. Opponent goes to 14. Felidare Guardian. Blank Fury. Get rid of Swift Spear. I mean, Blinking Fury's sweet. Fury's ended up being a lot better than I thought. Pass the turd. Please don't burn us. About it. Sure, thrilling possibility. Discards a land. What is going on with this deck? Opponent's going to pass. We untap. Marsh Flats, not cracking that. Well, let's Showdown on the Scalds. Could hit some life gain. Life gain would be good. Ooh. Okay. Flagstones. Keep it. Fin the deck. That is life gain. That is life gain that could save us. Go to combat. Hit you. Pass the turn. Opponent's down to 8. Oh, save us Solitude. Save us Solitude. We can Solitude a Felidare Guardian just to, well, I guess maybe we'd have to hit Fury, but we can Solitude something to gain. Not again. Not again. Okay. Gutter Snipe. Opponent passes. Oh, we should be good. We can put counters on Fury is kind of insane. And now we get to keep the brought back? Okay, so Solitude. Get rid of Felidare Guardian. Counter on Fury. Get rid of Gutter Snipe. Kill it. Oh, the synergies. The synergies. And opponent scoops it up. Well, I do another top 10. You can evoke from exile, but you have to exile the card from hand. Well, I do another top 10 creatures in Night of Stomp. I don't know. I've kind of, like, mentally, I've kind of just moved past. I've moved past Eldorade Standard. Like, I don't even know if it's worth memeing about anymore. In some ways, I feel like we've already done it. We've done it. We know what it is. It's broken. And I'm just counting down the days. Counting down the days to September 8th, which is not that many. Like, if we avert your eyes, desktop. But if we look at the calendar, what is that? 1, 2, 3. So 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56. I mean, we're what? 60, 64 days, something like that? 64 days away from no Love Struck Beast. That is the best feeling. Like, that is the best. Top 100 creatures at Nine is top. We're all, oh, no, 2 or 3. I mean, it's spoiler season. It's spoiler season. During spoiler season, it fills up, and then after spoiler season, I gotta clean it up. That's when you make the desktop dump folder and just put everything in it. I think I've talked about that before. I think that's the best technique. You make a we got a sideboard. We have sideboard cards for this matchup. 125. All right. You make a folder, you fill up your desktop. You make a folder called desktop dump. And then you dump your desktop into it. And then my rule is to wait like 2 or 3 months. And if I don't open that folder a single time or need anything from that folder, then I assume that's a sign that it's probably unnecessary and I just delete the whole folder. And then we're good. And then we do it again. And then we do it again. All right, so here's the story I heard over the weekend, which why is 52? Okay, we got a sideboard. Hang on. Sideboarding first, and then I gotta bring the story up because it's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Like, seriously, it's so ridiculous. Cleansing Wildfire. We can probably trim Cleansing Wildfire. Sanctifier and Vec is like our best sideboard card. Chalice could be good. What if we go down Ephemerates to Chalice on one? Chalice on one and Rip Apart. Let's try it like that. Okay, so here's the story. So someone that I know, sadly, their father found out they have cancer, which is obviously horrible. But because of YouTube videos, they are taking dog dewormer, like the medicine you give your dog so it doesn't get worms, to cure their cancer, and not doing any other form of treatment, because apparently the cure of cancer is known and it's in dog dewormer, but the doctors don't want to tell you that, and it's a whole like some conspiracy thing. Like, we know the cure of cancer and it's found in dog dewormer, but the doctors won't tell you that, and the government doesn't want you to know. And it just like made my mind explode. Like, it's so sad. Like, it's so incredibly it's easy to write off people like that as like, oh, what an idiot. Like, who would possibly believe that? But if you're old and you don't know the internet and you don't know how to like vet sources, like, it's really sad. That's a case of like the crazy stuff on the internet that if you're an internet native and you're used to it, it's easy to write it off as just like screwballs on some dark corner of the internet. But that's having like a very real impact on real people's lives. Like, my guess is, sadly, this person will probably not recover from cancer very easily because they're taking dog dewormer instead of getting treatment. And yeah, it really is. Like, it really is. So yeah, that was my exciting story. Exciting story from over the weekend. I mean, I'm not laughing at the situation because the situation makes me sad, but it does kind of blow my mind. Like, wow. Oh. Boot it. Mountain. And gutter snipe. Always with the gutter snipes. Always win the gutter snipes. I don't really want to spend a fury and pitch Kiki to kill a gutter snipe. but I kind of feel like I'm supposed to do that. I think we have to. I think we gotta do it. We can't risk it. Like, we got the chalice on 1. How do we lose? Probably by our opponent casting like a bunch of Manamorphoses into a gutter snipe. If he makes a recovery, won't you feel? Oh my! Oh my goodness! I hope he makes a recovery. I still will not believe that taking Dog Dewormer is the best course of action if you find out you have cancer. I would probably chalk it up to some sort of coincidence, but I hope that they do. Well, kill. Yeah, gutter snipe. OP. Got a 2 for. I never thought that in our modern league we'd be 2 for 1ing ourselves to kill a gutter snipe. Did you see how they reprinted Necropotence and Grizzlebrand on 1 card? How good is that card? I think. Oh, they had the Manamorphose too. I'm glad we killed it. How good do you think that card is? I'm actually very, very, very curious. So we're talking. Ha ha ha! Chalice on 1. Chalice on 1. Opponent's trying to storm off into the chalice. Learning a life lesson. Wait, are they? Oh! The greatest. The greatest. Yes. That is the best thing I have ever seen. Let's just chalice on 2. I think that's just our opponent giving up. It's gotta be. Oh, that one resolves. Okay, you did it. I don't know if our opponent is just giving up or if they really didn't realize how that worked 4 times in a row. If that gutter snipe lived and we didn't have chalice, that's a ridiculous amount of damage. Oh, opponent. No. Okay. So there actually is a method to this madness, which is trying to get a Bedlam Reveler down. All right, that actually makes sense. That's a real card that can do things. Restoration Angel, fin the deck. Okay, so our opponent actually, as funny as it looked, they were actually doing the right thing. Sanctifier is pretty helpful here. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. Felidar Guardian. Blink Plains. Sanctifier. And now... Oh! Our turn. Why'd we put that chalice on 2? Wow, they're drawing things they can cast. That's unfair. Arm Frinkle, welcome to the Mishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Nice lava darts. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tip for you. Thank you. Are they going for it? Are they sacking all their lands to use lava darts? Yeah, that was probably not the best time to make. Well, at least we drew our hate card. I mean, that does shut down the Bedlam Reveler. Get in and hit ya. So we can Felidar Guardian, blink a land. I think that works, right? Felidar Guardian, blink a land, Sanctifier. We do need to not die. Blink the Chalice on 2? But then we can't play Sanctifier this turn. And they could have Manamorphose. I mean, I guess we can just block. I kinda wanted to do it again. I kinda wanted to do it again just to troll you, but but we will play properly. How do we do this though? Even if these don't resolve, they are pumping this Bedlam Reveler. Blink the Chalice. What do they have that costs 2 that can kill us? I guess probably not too much. Alright. Felidar Guardian. Blink the Chalice. Pass the turn. If they chain together Manamorphose until we die, I'm gonna be very sad. Opponent combat. Attacks, we will block. I mean, once we get down the Sanctifier, without a Chalice on 2, then we could shut down this Bedlam Reveler. And Chalice on 1 is still good. Opponent, yeah. Getting their stuff countered. Ooh, brought back. That could do things eventually. Well, 1, 2. Sanctifier, in fact. This time, without a Chalice on 2. Get rid of the graveyard in case our opponent had any thought of playing another Bedlam Reveler. Go attacking. Hit ya. Alright, life is better. Life is better. We learned our lesson. It does stop the Lava Darts from flashing back, which is nice. Seth, we brew a 5-color legend deck with the Bard class. Seems fun with a Zika Bridge. Yeah, that is... I'm actually very excited to play that in Modern. I think Bard class in Modern could do some ridiculous things, but I will probably build it in Standard too. I haven't got around to building that one yet. So here's a question for you, chat, because this is something that I've been trying to figure out. We'll play the land. How hyped are you for Standard right now? When are the next viewer battles happening? It's a good question. Now that we're getting through spoiler season, I think definitely before the next spoiler season, but probably a couple weeks because still doing all the set release stuff. But soon. So the question is, for a cool deck like 5-color Legends, let's say, or things like that, is it worth playing them now? Like, I try not to double up on decks when it comes to gameplay content. So let's say, I don't know, there's a cool deck built around whatever, Angel, Book of Exalted Deeds, or Assembling Calderon. How do you feel about playing those decks now and then playing them again after rotation if they're cool? Should we just wait until after rotation? Like, if we build Bard class, does that mean we shouldn't build it again in 2 months after rotation, even though it'll probably be a lot more competitive and functional after rotation when we don't get Lovestruck Beasts running around? That's kind of the challenge of Standard content at the moment is, so many brought backs and so little to do with them at the moment. I'll go to combat. Attack ya. Attack ya. See if we can close out this game. About it. Takes it. Only build Bard class. Playing the future queues. The problem with the future queues, I mean, what do you think about the future queues? Do you want to see would you oh, that's a card. Do you want to see the future queues? Like, would you rather see that than normal Standard given the choice? Opponent discards. Steamkin, Blood Moon. That doesn't save them, and I think we got there. Both. I was definitely planning on... Yeah, I prefer best of 3, too. That's kind of the challenge. And about it, all right, brought back. Actually, Chalice to the Void, but close enough. I don't know why they didn't put a best of 3 queue for the future Standard event. I actually tweeted at Wizards and asked them if they would. I don't know if it'll make it happen, but that would make me super happy. Because, I mean, we're still going to play a lot of Modern. We're still going to play a lot of Legacy. That's still a big plan for the summer. But there are things from Forgotten Realms I want to test out. I just don't know, like, do you play it in Future Standard, even though it's best of 1? Do you play it in Normal Standard and just Eldraine a whole bunch of times? Like, what would you prefer as a viewer? What do you think of Asmodeus? Is it busted? Is it bad? It looks a little like Grizzlebrand. Like, that's pretty Grizzlebrand-y. It does cost mana. It's not as good as Grizzlebrand, but it is a big black creature that says draw 7. Like, that is Grizzlebrand adjacent. In Standard, the problem is you kind of need 10 mana. You need 6 to play it. Then you need to have 4 to activate it and draw the cards. Or you got to risk leaving it on the battlefield for a turn. In Commander, 10 mana, that ain't no thing. In Commander, it's pretty easy in a black deck with doubling your mana that you should be able to do it pretty easily. Asmo Daddy is definitely just an EDH card. No Standard potential. Ooh, Flagstone. Okay, I like this. We got the brought back. We got the Flagstones. We got the Fury. I actually think Dragon Turtle's pretty good. I think Dragon Turtles actually could be a good Standard card. Activating the ability and then sacking it or something would be a sweet way to draw a 7. I think I'd play in a lot of Commander decks. I think I'd play it as just like a generic good card in a lot of Commander decks. Flagstones, go. Think it's gonna get banned? I don't know if it's get banned good. Steam Vents untapped. Dragon's Rage Channeler. And a Bobble and a Scry. And a Sack. Okay. Well, I guess it's brought back time. Oh, I don't really want to lose the showdown of the Skalds, but it might still be worth it. Is it worth casting in the showdown so we can Flagstone ourselves? Legend Rule, get a land. Fury, kill this. Bring them both back. But then it does put us down our showdown, which seems pretty good. I guess we can wait a turn and try to get more value out of it. Yeah, let's wait. I mean, getting like a 2 for 2 is better if we can. If Necropotence won't be banned in Commander, this won't be. I mean, Griselbrand is. Griselbrand is banned. Yeah, we don't have an Urza Saga in this list. We don't really have... Okay. That's more appealing. Serum Visions. Now we can definitely Fury. Drawing a not as good red card would be nice, but now we are definitely Furying away these Dragon's Rage Channelers. Yup. Serum Visions. Set it up. Oh, Griselbrand is way more powerful. No doubt about it. I'm excited to play 5-color dragons with Tiamat as well. Opponent gets in, hits us. It's not Griselbrand. I think that is a good comparison, but it's definitely not as powerful. Ooh. Alright. So we will Flagstones Legend Rule ourselves. Get a land. Tapped. We will Fury. Oh, I really hate losing this showdown, but we will Fury. 2 to you, 2 to you. Kill him. Oh, huh. If we brought back this Fury, it's going to kill itself, isn't it? This has a little bit of the FTK problem. When it enters a battlefield, it deals 4 damage. Defines to choose... You know, that's not a May. Are we brought backing a single Flagstones? So you can deal 4 damage to 0 creatures? Is that an actual legitimate option? Alright. Well, we'll see. If Fury kills itself, chat, I'm blaming you. I'm taking names. Alright, Fury returns. Oh, you're right. Alright, it does work. It is not a FTK problem. It does work. Alright, that was better. Pass the turn. Mono Green Stoppy 4-year almost resub, which is insane. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Opponent plays Mountain. Don't bolt our Fury. Bolts our Fury. Passes. Well, we will Sacred Foundry tapped. Oh, wishing we had that Showdown of the Scalds. Nalikilla! Welcome to the Fishbowl. How are you today? Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Potent. Expressive iteration. Pretty strong. What do you think is a what do you think is a power level of Adventures in the Forgotten Realms compared to post-rotation standard? When you consider the sets that are going to be in standard, Ragavan. When you consider the sets that are going to be in standard, which are Zendikar, Strixhaven, Keldheim, we obviously don't know what Innistrad will bring. Ooh. Where would it rank in that hierarchy? Hey Seth, I've been brewing around with this kind of deck. I was wondering what you think of Ether Vial in the deck. I think Ether Vial could be good in the deck. Yeah, I guess we're just doing what we do. Fury. This time we will choose to deal damage. All 4 of it to our monkey friend, Arid Mesa. Go. It's pretty bad. Weakest, but not really. So you think it's weak even compared... See, I'm not sure it's weak compared to, like, Oh, another one. Compared to Strixhaven and Keldheim. I haven't went super in-depth, like, and really analyzed it or anything, but... At a glance, I feel like it's on par with those. Lustful Jeans, how are you? What new card are you most excited for? As a D&D fan, I'm very excited for this set. Ooh, yeah, I'm excited for... quite a few. There's some really sweet build-arounds in this set. There's some really sweet build-arounds. Well, more Arid Mesa. We need that Showdown of the Scalds. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Dashes Ragavan. Goes to combat. Attacks. Flashes back. Serum Visions. Well, I think we gotta kill the Ragavan. Unfortunately. Restoration Angel. Oh, can't you kill both with Fury? With what Fury though? We're out of Furies. Well, I think we're losing here. Well, there goes Restoration Angel. Drawback only brings back the card that went to the graveyard this turn. Opponent stealing from our deck. Yeah, we're just getting snowballed out of this game. Oh no! Wow, that is the daggeriest Ragavan. Oh my god. Oh no! Oh, that is the exact card we need. Oh. Wow! No! Oh no! Oh wow! Oh yeah, we're super. That's it. That's boy. Yeah. All right. Oh, we needed that Mama Boo. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. This one's over. Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, that was... Yeah, I mean, now our opponent's just drawing 4 cards a turn or something insane. Oh, I can't believe they hit that. Oh, Showdown. That's a card that could have gotten us back in the game. Opponent. Gonna draw an extra card. Yeah. It's a lot of creatures that just draw an extra card every turn for 1 or 2 mana. Do you think Tomer will try to achieve both Vecna and Kaldra in the same deck? Well, Tomer's got to achieve Kaldra first. I don't think Tomer's ever won a game with Kaldra, so adding Vecna to it as well might be too much. Scalding Dart, but I'm sure he probably will. Opponent, yeah, making all the treasures, drawing all the cards. We untap, we draw Kiki Jiki. Now we will pass the turn. Opponent. It is funny that the closest Tomer got to winning with Kaldra ended with him brutally punting away the game. Yeah, I guess in the wrong of on. Yeah. About it. You know what seems good against our opponent's deck? I feel like their deck costs exclusively 1 mana. Chalice of the Void probably a pretty good card against them. The only reason we're staying in this is there is some weird chance that we just go infinite. Oh, they're Arcanist. So 1, 2, 3, or 5. So we need to crack this. Down to 4. Get a Plains. Brought back. Get back to Arid Mesa. We're staying in it because there is some miracle world where our opponent has no more removal and we combo and draw the right piece. All right, we do not. On to sideboarding. Aye. Do you think, what do you think about Rogues post-rotation? Seems like they're positioned to completely take over the format, in my opinion. So, Rogues will be interesting because they lose most of their best cards. I think Rogues is actually a really interesting question because if you look at what Rogues exist in the format after rotation, and there's a couple new additions, but if you look at Rogues, yes, you have Soaring Thought Thief. That's a card that sees play in the deck. Wind Robber we've seen to be playable. Nighthawk Scavenger. But I feel like the deck is going to be incredibly different. Like, maybe you can rebuild Rogues with Zerasan and, like, the new unblockable Venture Rogue, along with Soaring Thought Thief, maybe Nighthawk Scavenger. But the reason I'm not especially concerned about it is it actually loses a lot of its best cards. Like, Thieves Guild Enforcer is really, really key. Lurrus is really, really key. Maybe the most impactful is no Into the Story, no Drown in the Lock. I really think those spells are the cards that allow the deck to work. Like, if Rogues, I don't know if you've ever played against Rogues. I'm sure you have, because everyone has. But if Rogues does not hit a refill spell, its deck's pretty bad. Like, it's playing a bunch of not all that powerful stuff. What makes it work is it has standard counterspell combined with standard terminate in one card, which is Drown in the Lock is an insane card if you can fill your opponent's graveyard. And then it has all these like, oh, draw 4 for 4 mana, draw 4 for 4 mana. So it never runs out of gas, and if it ever runs out of gas, it's like, hey, guess what? I got Lurrus in my sideboard. So Lurrus comes down, replays everything from the graveyard. So I was looking at the standard meta. I think I'm gonna do an article on this. Chalice in, Sanctifier in, Ephemera out, Dranith Magistrate out, Cleansing Wildfire out, Rip Apart in. Run it like that. I'm thinking I'm going to do an article about this, but if you look at the most played decks in the meta, let's say top whatever, let's look at this entire page. What decks are actually going to be in the meta after rotation? Well, Salty Ultimatum, gone. Dragons, yes, but it loses all the adventure stuff, but I'm sure there'll be a dragon deck. Adventure's gone. Jeskai Tempo's Mutate, that's gone. Rogues loses most of its stuff. It's going to have to turn into a, like, real fair creature deck rather than the, like, hardcore tempo control deck. Even, like, Mono Red, will there be a Mono Red deck in the format? Probably, but if you look at the cards, it's going to be completely different. Fervent Champion is gone. Rhymerock Knight, gone. Robber of the Rich, gone. Annex, gone. Bone Crusher, gone. Phoenix of Ash, gone. Torbrand, gone. Embercleave, gone. that's its entire deck. So I'm sure that someone will build mono red, but it's going to be an entirely different deck. Even mono white, I think it'll exist, but it loses all of its 1-drops. It loses Drannith Magistrate. It loses Season Hollow Blade. So it's going to have to rebuild. I think maybe it goes more equipment focused, or like Boros. Mono green, mostly a deck with like Lovestruck Beast. That's probably going to be gone. Guerrilla Adventure's gone. Wineta rotates. Doom Foretold rotates. Shark Typhoon rotates from the control deck, so they're going to have to play dragons. No Ugin, no Shark Typhoon to close out the game. They're going to have to rebuild. The only deck that mostly emerges unscathed, and that's not even unscathed, but the sacrifice decks don't lose a ton. They lose a finisher sometimes. They do lose some Eldraine stuff like everything, but you still have, especially the builds that are eye twitching. That's not an eye twitch build there, but especially the eye twitch style builds. Those still have some pieces, but I think we get a brand new meta. Like it's going to be a brand new meta once we get to rotation. Well, all right. We got a plan, and that plan is to cast a Chalice of the Void and hope that our opponent cannot play Magic. Oh, will we remember our Chalice of the Void? Yeah, it also loses Bastion of Remembrance. It loses Woe Strider, so a lot of pieces are missing. Although Immistorm Predator is still a free sack outlet that's very strong. You may not know too much about D&D. Did you see the flavor text on Split the Party? Ooh, I did not. What is Split the Party? Don't. So now that you've seen the entire set, as a D&D fan, if you're a D&D fan, are you happy with the flavor? Here's even a better question. Are any of you non-Magic players that are now becoming Magic players because of the D&D set? That's something I'm especially curious about. Like, do you think that there will be people who will come to Magic for the first time ever just because of the D&D set? Because that would be awesome. There's enough overlap, though. I was thinking about this the other day. I actually tweeted it, but after seeing D&D fans react to this set, I feel like Universes Beyond is going to be a smash hit. I think it's going to be an absolute smash hit. Even if some old-time Magic players don't like it, which there are legitimate reasons not to like it. That's not supposed to be a criticism. But I would be absolutely, completely shocked if it was not a super big hit. All right, we're just going to ramp for now. We got 2 Showdown of the Skulls in hand. Let's do some ramping. I started sharing a few cards with the group I'm DMing because they're playing a Waterdeep Heist. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, brought back... I remember this being really hyped when it was spoiled. And it never really caught on immediately, but it definitely is a card that can do things. I mean, that's a 2-mana Explosive Vegetation in our Boros deck, essentially. Even that's pretty good. The class enchantments are so good. Does seeing this set make you any more comfortable? Oh, God. Does seeing this set make you any more comfortable with Universes Beyond? Oh, this is not great. Not great, not great, not great. I'll do this, do this. Murktide Region. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. A little. I want more crossovers with themes that make sense. I just don't like how Universes Beyond is going about it. That makes sense. Lord of the Rings, I mean, I feel like Lord of the Rings has a lot of crossover, right? I've had to sit through all 14 hours of TDM several times. I feel like it could cross over to Magic pretty easily. I mean, worst case, you just make the boringest set of all time, and you got a flavor win. So easy breezy. Nailed it. Um, how do we deal with a Murktide Regent? Something like Star Wars would be a little bit harder. Uh, I'm sorry, Lord of the Rings fans. I'm sorry. I find it's not the most tedious thing because when I said it was the most tedious thing, I forgot that baseball existed. But second most tedious thing behind baseball. Hmm. Oh, we're gonna pass. This Fury play gets so much better if we wait a turn. We'll pass the turn. I would prefer watching soccer to baseball. Honestly, baseball is okay. Baseball is okay-ish in person. I will say. Like, I can see the appeal of like, it's a nice summer day. I'm gonna go like sit in the outdoors and breathe some fresh air and drink a beer or whatever you're into. I don't really like beer, but I can see the appeal of that. But like to watch a baseball game on TV, oh my goodness. I don't know if you've noticed this since I grew up before Netflix. So you had to watch TV with commercials where you would watch a show for like 10 minutes and then you'd have to sit through commercials. Now that I only watch Netflix and Hulu and things streaming that don't have commercials, if you ever see a commercial, it drives me insane. Like I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. If you ever watch a normal TV show with a commercial, it just is absolutely brutal. That's what baseball is every single play. Multiple times a play. Like, it is just constant commercials. You get to watch 3 seconds of the TV show, and then you get 30 seconds of a commercial with people pulling on their hats and, adjusting and putting whatever, talcum on the ball. And then you watch a commercial for 30 seconds, and then you get to watch the actual show for another 3 seconds, and it keeps going on and on like that over and over again. All right, so we will untap. If we get countered with this treasure and lose as a result, I'm going to be very sad. So triggers. We will solitude. Exile Skyclave Apparition. Get rid of the Murktide Regent. So threat 1 down. Crack the land. Down to 7. Get a mountain. Brought back. Get them both back. Chalice on 1. Counter on solitude. Is this enough? Is it enough, or are we too far behind after that Murktide Regent? Can solitude save us? What dual lands will be left in standard is the real question. Snarls and Pathways, and then whatever we get in Innistrad. I kind of feel like Innistrad's going to go crazy. I don't think it's going to be like Eldraine, but I feel like Innistrad's got to be pushed. First Innistrad, most beloved set of all time. One of them. Second Innistrad, it was okay. Its standard was remembered for Emrakul getting banned and ruining everything. It was okay. I feel like new Innistrad is going to be very good. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, Arm. Like, first Innistrad, great. Second Innistrad, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Opponent asked if Chalice counters Dash Ragavan, which might mean they're countering Chalice. Opponent. Werewolves better be pushed. I was thinking about that. Are you... I actually made a list. I was trying to figure out if I needed to buy werewolves or vampires. Oh, okay. If I needed to buy werewolves or vampires before the set came out for fear of them spiking ridiculously. We'll pass the turn. Still kind of a sketchy spot to be in. Do you think that that's necessary? Expressive iteration. Any kind of reprints are unlikely in a premiere set. That's true, although look at like werewolves. And so reprints are unlikely, which would be something that would suggest you should buy them because they could get more expensive. On the other hand, there's not that many werewolves in existence. Vampires there's a ton of, but there's not that many. Yeah, that's definitely not how you spell wolf. But there's not that many werewolves. It's a little cluttered in here because of all the backsides, but there's really only a handful, and there's even less that are, like, rares. The question is, does Wizards just put them all in a commander deck? Because we know we get commander decks with, like, every set now. So, like, Croon Outlaw or Daybreak Ranger, cards like that are cards that I would be like, all right, I'm probably going to build Werewolf Commander. A lot of other people are going to build Werewolf Commander. Maybe I should get my copies now while they're 50 cents before they spike to $5 or something. But if they're just going to print a Werewolf Commander deck and dump all these cards into the Commander deck, then there's not really any... Oh, no, not again. Another Murktide. This one's a 7/7. Well, come on. More Solitudes, please. Ghost Quarter. That's not a Solitude. All right. Well, I think it's a Solitude or Bust here. We will get a Plains. I guess Fury maybe? We don't have a red card, though. All right. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Show us Solitude. Okay, there's a Solitude. So we are not dead. So we will play Arid Mesa. Solitude. Actually, we're getting counters, right? So we should play Sanctifier and Vec. Solitude. Unfortunately, got to get rid of Resto. Get rid of Murktide. Oh, we have Protection. Oh, so it doesn't get counters anyway. That's right. Protection from our own showdown of the Scalds. Hey, I love you too, Charles. Good to see you. Personally, I don't think we'll see the return of Investigate Clues in Innistrad. Do you think we'll see flip werewolves? Do you think they could do werewolves without the... All right, opponent. Well, we're 1 to 5. Sneaky Kiki. Untap. Solitude's actually pretty nice. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kiki. We can't target it still. That's so awkward. Kiki. Ghost Quarter. Go to combat. Hit ya. The Kiki beatdowns. Opponent. Ooh, MDFC werewolves. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Opponent passes. We untap. Yeah. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just in case our opponent's considering casting anything, let us Chalice on 2. Counter on Kiki, because that's all we can target. Opponent counters. Well, play Flagstones. Go to combat. Hit ya. Opponent down to 16. Man, Chalice is good. What if we had day-night card mechanic that were not double-sided cards? Ooh, how would it work without being double-sided? Opponent cannot overcome the Chalice. These Chalices have been spectacular. Oh, Ulrich. Ulrich was so bad. When I was looking... when I was looking through werewolves and thinking, all right, do I need to pick any of these up because they might get really expensive? I saw Ulrich, and I was like, it is really cheap. It is a mythic, but does anyone actually want Ulrich? Like, even if, let's say, werewolves become the most played tribe in Commander, and everyone wants to build a werewolf deck, are they going to put Ulrich in it? I don't know. They potentially will not. I feel like the werewolf set is Wizards trying to right its wrongs. The first time, werewolves are very popular. They're pretty iconic. The first time they did werewolves, the mechanic is just really, really rough for multiplayer. Like the flipping back and forth. I don't know if you've ever seen anyone try to play werewolves in Commander. It's not good. It's just too easy for people to flip them back and forth. And then the second time, they're like, "We didn't give you a legendary werewolf. We're gonna fix it. Don't worry, it's coming. We know you want one." Ulrich. That was the solution to the problem. So they can't be any worse, I would say. Squagiki! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Yeah, we've been talking about spoilers as we go along. We talked about it at the beginning, and we've been talking about it here and there throughout the stream. We have Fury, and we most importantly have Chalice. Well, Chalice makes it a keep, I think. Joffrey and Tenben, 2 first-time subs, and Swagiki, also first-time. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Ragavan. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Oh, I don't want to do this, but I think we have to. This does not feel... how bad is it if we wait? It's so much better next turn, but if they get a counter, Ragavan making the tough choices. The tough choices. What do we do here? How do we do this? Wait a turn? Risk it? It could go poorly. No, I would love to Chalice on 1, but Simian Spirit Guide. It is banned. This makes a mana. We know they have counter spells. Yeah, I guess we gotta wait. Ugh. I don't know. That's a really tough scenario. Getting hit by Ragavan is just really scary. It ramps. It gives our opponent a card potentially. Chancellor. They're really good at stealing our showdowns. Opponent. Passes, leaves up, presumably, a counter. Okay, so. We only have 1 red card, so we only get 1 shot. Ooh, tough scenario. Still tough. Well, Aaron Mesa. Crack it. Planes. We have a new donation. Oh, yeah. We have a new donation for... Wow. Wow. Okay. Huh. Our opponent went through that very quickly. Huh. Okay, okay. New donation from Zaire! $5 donation. Hey Seth, I haven't played Modern in a while, but White Black Grief Stoneblade looks fun. Is it a viable modern option? It is a viable modern option. I would say it is a solid tier 2 deck at the moment. No, alright. I guess you get to Ragavan us one more time. It just gets so much better if we can leave up Brought Back. I was expecting our opponent was going to... Oh. Alright. Yep. Ugh. What do you think about Ragavan? Is Ragavan too snowbally? Ragavan's insane. It's so insane. It is so insane. Opponent hits us. Up to infinite mana. Cracks the land to draw a card. Infinite mana, why not? What do I need a land for? And can you double Fury and Brought Back if you draw a red card? We could. We could indeed. Ragavan's just winning this game. It's a fair card. It takes over the game if not dealt with on turn 1. That is true. Is it the best 1-drop of all time? Oh, kill it sounds good, but it's such an amazingly painful way to kill it. Like, Fury, pitching Kiki, and we still get countered, potentially. Wow. All right. Well, it took 4 cards, but we killed a 1-drop. Mission successful, I guess. Marsh Flats, Sacred Foundry, Brought Back, 0 targets. Pass the turn. All right. Well, Ragavan dealt with. Opponent. Bolts of Fury. Deathray Shaman might be better. Oh, no wonder our opponent didn't care. There's just more Ragavans. This time dashing in. Opponent dashes in, hits us. With dash, we can't even kill it. Steals a treasure, gets rid of land we didn't want. Cracks the Scalding Tarn. 4 minutes on the clock, indeed. It's been a long one. Murktide. Yeah. That's a 5/5. Does not die to Fury. Yeah, we can't beat Ragavan. I mean, I guess that's the downside of not playing cheap removal. This deck has all, like, really expensive removal that requires 2 for 1ing yourself. And we're paying the price for not having cards like Path to Exile, because we can't easily deal with, like, Ragavans. And now our opponent's got a 5/5 flyer and a Ragavan and a handful of bird spells. Mishra's Bobble. We have another new donation from Zazzy. $5 donation. I think I got it right this time. Thanks for the advice, Seth. And you make me laugh with how you get Zaire out of Zazzy. Oh, I missed the second Z. My apologies. Dog of Myth, thank you for the donation. With the gifts up to Bennymon. Benny, how are you? Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. How's life, Benny? How are things? Ragavan. All right. Solitude, I guess. Solitude, like, now-ish. I guess Restoration Angel? No, that doesn't do it. Opponent gets draw more cards. Leaving up Counterspell, presumably. Showdown of the Scalds. Well, gotta give him something to counter, at least, on the way out the door. Showdown of the Scalds. Well, resolves. Solitude? We can't even Solitude. Ugh. Ugh. Mm. Alright, play a planes. Eh. Yeah, oh, wow, okay. We might regret not playing the Sacred Foundry from hand here. We'll see. We could end... Wow, if we lose because of that, that would be brutal. As a default, you want to play the lands from exile, but in this case, playing the land from exile might mean we can't cast this Kiki. And that could actually be a problem. Nicardos! Welcome to the Fishbowl for the 7th month. Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited for it as well. I mean, I guess we can work around it with Ghost Quarter, so we're still okay. The not so macho man. Welcome to the Fishbowl. However, this perhaps might be a lightning bolt on Felidare. Yeah, life is harder when we don't have the Chalice. That turns on a lot of our opponent's deck. Block the Ragavan. I mean, opponent sees it coming, which also makes it a lot harder. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Opponent. Bolt the bird? I mean, if we got a bolt, you should bolt our phase. Unholy Heat? Dragon's Rage Channeler. Wait. Is there actually a chance we're going to win this? Is there actually hope? This can't be working. This can't be working. Alright, so we float a mana. We Ghost Quarter ourselves. There's no way. There's no way. Get a mountain. No way. No way this is going to work. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Get a plains. I mean, play Kiki. That's it. That's it. That's it. Kiki. Do you have Unholy Heat? They do. Okay, float some mana. Wait, are they trying to time us out? Is that what they're doing? That's sketchy. They scooped! Oh! It worked! It worked! I can't believe that worked! I thought there was zero... No percent chance. No, it was sitting in the exile zone. They just didn't have the answer. They tried to scare us by making the red mana. Wow. Okay. I didn't think there was any chance. Oh. All right, chat. Back to spoilers. That was a sweet win. Give me a card that you think can see play immediately. I know we've been talking about how the official release of the set is probably going to be rotation. Give me a card from Forgotten Realms that you think can show up in immediately see standard play. I'm talking about fully powered, Eldraine, all the broken stuff. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. I think that'll show up in immediately play in older formats. Maybe we have a mill deck in standard too. Flame Skull does seem like a good standalone card. Could show up in red aggro. I think it is powerful. I think Ranger class has a chance to see play right away, although maybe with Vivian around it'll be less likely. I kind of like this hand. We got Furies for days. I think Exalted Deed is the one of the deck I'm really excited to build. We'll see. It might be good in the current meta. It's going to start going against Sultai, I think. Even Death I'm actually kind of excited about. Back to Pioneer, back to historic at least, maybe modern. Yes. Zariel's it's like a Goblin Bushwhacker Planeswalker. It's a Goblin Bushwhacker Planeswalker. Adult Gold Dragon is good. Is Mince good? I think Terraskew is perhaps maybe the most disappointing card Wizards has made in a long time. Coming from a flavor / power level perspective. Yeah, the hate card cycle is decent. I actually think the red one is the best. At least At least currently. Yeah, let's play Valakut Awakening or Stoneforge. I think the... Oh, speaking of pronunciations, D&D fans, I know there's some of you in chat. I gotta find the right card for an example because I have a gripe. Who made D&D? Who was the original creator? I have a concern if I can find. Well, I can't find it at the moment. My question was Tiefling. How in the world? How in the world do the letters Tie spell that out for me. Spell that out. If I had the same score as you as a basketball game or a baseball game, what would we be? Give me those letters. Type those letters out. Tie. Let's say I'm over at Vince's house and it's the middle of the afternoon and we want to have a casual get together. What would we have? How would you spell that? Those crazy Brits. Tea. Why is there tie? Why is it pronounced tie? I don't get it. I really don't. I have a big issue with that. And after that Commander game where Krim won 5 coin flips in a row, also math. I don't believe in math anymore. Math and spelling. I'm done. I'm done with both of them. It's over. It's over. How do you pronounce fiefdom? I guess like that. Opponent. Dranith Magistrate. What do you say? Grief. Grief. So T. Okay. But what about tie? Oh, it's fiefdom? I thought it was where there were a lot of fifers lived. Like, isn't that an instrument? Can't you play a fife? I think. English is a pretty crappy language. I think that we can all agree on. Well, let's go to combat attack. Go to combat. Dranith Magistrate you for 1. Doesn't Showdown conflict with Dranith? This is a 2020 card. Only impacts our opponents. It should be a non-bow, but we don't believe in that. Hate cards never hate on yourself. I hate to admit this, but I played a little bit of Hearthstone recently, and it's actually been really interesting research. I might end up doing a video or article on this, but I don't know how many of you play Hearthstone at all. I had played some like Hearthstone drafts on and off, but I had never really played Constructed in a long time. But I had enough dust laying around that I could actually build a Constructed deck, and I played some Constructed, and I feel like Hearthstone has been a really big influence on recent Magic design. I know we like to meme on, we're Hearthstone now with Arena coming out, and like that was like a big joke. But Owikentire for the second month brought back, but to the tune of Bounce Back. Ooh, welcome back to the Fishbowl. That'd be good. Thank you for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. But I feel like the design of Hearthstone has actually really influenced Magic design. Because one of the things I was realizing just playing some Hearthstone games is your cards can never hurt yourself. Never, ever, 1,000,000%. Like, as a Magic player, there's stuff that it's like, oh, this enters the battlefield, deal 1 damage to something. And to another creature. And as a Magic player, I assume, oh, if I play this 2 1-for-1 that ping something when it comes into play and there's no creatures, I'm going to have to target my own thing and it's going to die. But in Hearthstone, it just automatically like, nope. And you can see that the same with all these hate cards. There's really not cards that hurt yourself other than like random effects. It's like cast a million random things and who knows what'll happen. But I feel like Magic's design has actually really started borrowing a lot from Hearthstone and heading more and more that direction. And I think it lines up with Arena coming out. Runeterra is pretty good. Tief is German for deep. Ooh, interesting. I didn't know that. What do we do? What do we do now? But yeah, I feel like that's what Magic has been going towards. I would like to Magus, but I feel like that could go wrong. Let's float a mana, flagstones, keep a new flagstones. Actually, maybe we should just Magus. Get a plains. Like, what's the worst that happens? You know what? We're gonna Magus. If this sticks, we probably just win. Opponent. How do you feel about the Magus of the Moon? D-Thigh! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That scenario has more to do with the order of your TB. You can ping your own creatures too if you have at least one out when you play the ETB. That's true, but you never... Yeah, I guess that is true, that you can ping them for value. Maybe it's just the wording of it. A lot of... all right, there it goes. A lot of what you know as a Magic player, you would assume would work one way. And I'm sure this works for people who play Hearthstone that come to Magic. But I'm sure if you play Hearthstone and then you come to Magic, some stuff just does not work the way that you think. It seems like it should work one way, but then you find out, actually, it does not work that way at all. Well, go to combat, get in, hit ya. That's actually something else I noticed, is that's one of the things I appreciate about Magic, is Magic has really precise wording. And that's important to the game, I think, because Magic has a lot of these weird technicalities. I kind of feel, and I don't know if you've noticed this either, as well, but I kind of feel like Magic's wording is getting looser. I kind of feel like Wizards, we saw the change like from shuffle your library to shuffle. And I know that's a little thing. I'm not even saying that's a bad change, but it is looser. Because there were jokes about it at the time, like, oh, when I shuffle my sideboard, like, it doesn't tell me what to do. It is less specific. And then we saw some cards from Forgotten Realms. I'm trying to find what is a token card? This says, oh, it's the red rare. Delina. Roll a 1 to 14, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary and it has exile this creature at the end of combat. Roll 15 to 20, create one of those tokens, roll again. One of those tokens. I mean, I guess like intuitively you assume that it's referring to the token it talked about with the other ability, but it is a little bit less specific. So I feel like Magic's wording has gotten a little bit less precise recently. Whenever you attack, there's a few things like that. So it's not a like criticism, and maybe it's a good thing because it does free up words on cards, which I think is part of the goal. But yeah, I feel like Magic is being Hearthstoneized. Let's showdown. Oh, I assume this is a deck with a bunch of counters. It's gonna make us sad. Opponent. This is Archmage's Force of Negation. Okay. Sure. Well, we will play Valakut Awakening, pass the turn. Oh, this has got to be a Cascade deck. If they're playing Fire and Ice, it's got to be a Cascade deck that hasn't hit a Cascade spell. Waterlog Grove cracked. Opponent. Would you rather Magic... No, well, that wasn't a complaint. That's just something I noticed. So I'm not trying to say they shouldn't do that. Being Yu-Gi-Oh cards probably wouldn't be ideal either. But it is just changes that I've noticed that are different than. I think it's just a lot of changes, and I don't even know if it's a bad thing. But I think a lot of what has a lot of what has caused angst in the community recently has been that we've went through a lot of changes really, really, really quickly. Like Magic was kind of the same for 25 years or 20 years, whatever amount of time. But from the early 90s up through the mid 2010s, obviously you get new sets, you get, damage goes off the stack, but it was relatively consistent. In just the last couple of years, we've gotten Arena, we've gotten Secret Lairs, we've gotten exclusive cards printed in Secret Lairs, and exclusive box toppers. We have gotten 3 different organized play. We've gotten the end of organized play. We've gotten, like, an insane amount of stuff has happened in that time. And I think a lot of the reactions that you see from the community when something happens like Walking Dead Secret Lair, I think some percentage of that is just so much change, and it's a lot for people to soak in. Like, if they only did Walking Dead Secret Lair, sure. Like, some people would be upset, but I think people would be kind of more accepting. But when you add that on top of the OP stuff, organized play stuff, on top of everything else, more sets, Arena, you just add all that stuff together, and the community is kind of just like primed to react to anything. Well, let's go to combat first. Get in, hit ya. Gotta pay for the third yacht somehow. I do think that the new CEO probably has something to do with it. All right, Felidar Guardian. Blink. Recruiter. Yes, please. Get a Kiki. Flagstones. Keep the new one. I mean, we got an infinite combo set up for next turn if our opponent can't answer it. Get a land past the turn. Opponent. Passes. Ooh, Showdown of the Scalds. Do we go for it, or do we showdown and wait? Does it get better if we wait? Do you think the pre-release kit will come with a randomized Z20, or will I, a non-D&D player, need to randomize Z20 on my own? I have heard that there will be D20s with the pre-release kits. So I'm assuming that is the case. Well, yeah, let's go for it. Play Kiki combo and not try to combo with Kiki. Oh, I guess actually, you know what is hilarious? I haven't actually been thinking about this. I think that running out that Dranith Magistrate is just winning us this game. Because they're like, oh, our opponent's a Cascade deck. Their deck is probably doing nothing just because we played that Dranith Magistrate on turn 2 and they can't kill it. Like, I think that was just the free win. Well, I think they're going to have an actual D20. I know there's been some debate over whether you can use a spin down life total as, counter as a D20. And I think that the answer is no as far as sanctioned tournaments. But I think they're going to have an actual D20 with the pre-release kits. That is what I've heard, at least, is that they're going to provide that. I wouldn't think that they'd be playing Settle the Wreckage, but who knows? Maybe they're hoping we get greedy and don't go far enough. Wow, this is the best Dranith Magistrate has ever been. Ever. Wow, if we get settled, I mean, I guess that's fine. It would be nice to win, but if we get settled, we can still showdown next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, so many clicks. This deck is close to timing us out. Alright, this should be good enough. And then, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ugh. All right, I guess we got to keep going. I don't even know. What if they have gain life? They could have something that gains life. All right, let's go for it. Copy the recruiter. Put an end to the chain. Get another Kiki just in case. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Opponent. Settle the wreckage? Death. Okay, we will accept. Unseen Spectre! Welcome to the Fishbowl for the 55th month. I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That worked well. I can't believe these these combos keep working. I keep expecting our opponents to have interaction, but they keep not having interaction. Man, we have a lot of hate for this matchup. between Chalice and that Dranith Magistrate that just janked our opponent out. Oh boy, is this a matchup where you can Avalanche Rider? Is it worth it? Best username on Magic Arena. I always thought Raging Tilt Monster was pretty funny. that one always gets a laugh. Raging Tilt Monster, because I always wonder if the person like is actually like a jerk and like just a horrific person who's you would never want to play a game against, or maybe they just think it's funny and they're like the nicest person. All right, so maybe we trim a solid. I don't know what our opponents. I assume it's a Cascade deck, but I don't know what. I sold my old Commander Buck, brought into Modern. Ooh, wanted Stoneblade, but my LGS didn't have any Stoneforges, so I present almost Stoneblade D&T. I like it. Grief Ephemerate, really good. This is actually a kind of shell I was thinking about building. The other thing I haven't done with Grief that I want to do with Grief is Eldrazi Displacer Lock. This could be a shell that, I mean, I guess you'd have to change up a little bit to have the colorless lands, but I could see Eldrazi Displacer working well in a shell like this. I like it, though. I think that something like this could actually be pretty effective. Even without the Stoneforge, although you can always upgrade and add the Stoneforge later. The upside of Stoneforge, especially now that Cauldra exists, is it's just a really fast clock. Like that is the upside. Is they can just close out the game so quickly. Like, you get free wins with it. Like, occasionally you just turn 2 Stoneforge, they can't kill it, I get a Cauldra, and your opponent just scoops, because they can't beat the 5/5 Indestructible Haste. As far as, what do you think about D20s being used as spin downs? Let's put it this way. You're playing a casual Commander game at your LGS. Someone comes in and they say, "Hey, I'm playing this, dice rolling deck. All I got's a D20. Are you cool with that? Are you cool with it?" Because I've actually heard a lot of varied responses to this, to the point where people have there's videos, there's YouTube videos people have sent me of people testing D20s. Are they fair dice? Can they be used as dice? I think it's actually very interesting. I'm only cool if it's a spin down rather than a D20. So you can't use a D20. It's got to be a spin down. I mean, I would personally, I would be cool with it. In a casual game, whatever. If you want to build your own D20, if you want to build your own D20 somehow, or I don't know, write the numbers 1 through 20 on little pieces of paper and mix them all up and pick one, sure, go for it. What if you were playing a Magic Fest? What if you paid your whatever amount of money, you're playing a Magic Fest, and for some reason in round 1, you're playing a Modern GP, your opponent sits down and says, "Hey, I'm trying to deck of many things. I'm playing deck of many things.deck," or whatever it is. Would you be okay with that from a more spiky, competitive perspective? Oh, we should not have cracked this. Force of Habit just snapping off the fetch for no really good reason. Alright, we get iced. We draw Fury. Well, play them. Yeah, we got pretty punished for cracking that fetch. Marsh Flats. Go. Opponent taps. I mean, I guess we kind of want to wait for brought back with Fury, preferably anyway, but... Opponent. Official tournament rules say no spin downs. Yeah, I mean, I think they're actually going to be against the rules, essentially. Opponent passing. I'll play the planes. Pass the turn. Our opponent has not done much this entire game. Surprisingly little. In a sanctioned tournament, I would only let him use a D20 if it was mine. Was theirs or mine. Yeah, I would not. I don't think I would let someone use it in a tournament, honestly. Yeah, here comes the rhinos. Sure. That's a lot of power. Well, we're going to have to try to set up to have a good turn next turn. The problem is Force of Negation. Ooh. Opponent rhinos us for $1 billion or two. We will take it. I'll crack this. Get a plains. Valakut Awakening. Bottom. And maybe that's it. Let's draw 2. More Furies. Alright, Fury, it is up to you. AFR pre-release packs will have D20 instead of spin downs. Yeah, that's what I had heard as well. Alright, so, Fury. So let's think about this. We play the planes. Actually, we don't even need to do that. Let's Fury. Exile Valakut Awakening. Kill. Oh, they do have a counter, don't they? Kill the rhino, hopefully. Subtlety. Okay. Was not expecting that, but that works. Opponent also has elementals. Bottom. Fury. Pitch Fury. Kill a rhino. Ephemerate. Kill the rhino? Please? Do you think that... Ooh, best out... We haven't ranked the commanders. That's actually a good one. That's actually a good one. We haven't done that yet. Kill the rhino. Please no more rhinos. We cannot take more rhinos here. Well, we got there through the subtlety. We kill the rhinos. We play a Sacred Foundry. Tapped. We pass the turn. Alright, no Cascade to instant speed into rhinos. Please, please, please. Opponent. Cascades into rhinos at instant speed. Boo and hiss. Yeah. Remind me, we'll do a tier ranking after we finish this game. We've been spending so long talking, we're like on the verge of timing out every match. During sideboarding, we will tier rank the commanders, because I like that question. So how long do you think it takes Krim to bring an Asmodeus deck to Commander Clash that packs Omen Machine, Uba Mystic, and Possess Portal? Uh, Probably about 2 weeks. I bet it'll be pretty quick. That sounds exactly like something Krim would do. Wow. Oh dear. Okay, yeah. And that even gets around our brought back. Oh, that's so bad. Nothing to rebound because of Dead Gone. We draw nothing. We play a Fury. We kill a Rhino. Dead Gone! Dead Gone! Well, we will pass the turn. Dying. Dying. Opponent cracks. A quick reminder as we go through this game that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom if you need some Magic cards. I finally got the sticker with the beard, the Saffron Olive sticker, and it is pretty sweet. It was worth the wait. Wow. All right. Top deck's the ice too? Okay. Well, in that case, every single thing just went in our opponent's favor. I do think that this should be a pretty good matchup for our deck. I do. You know what? Maybe we go down these Cleansing Wildfires and bring back in just more ways to answer Rhinos. Like, if we can keep the Rhinos off the board, how does our opponent win? Can they even win? I don't know if they can. Let's run it back. Who's on my shirt? This is a Leonard Cohen shirt. So with who you should definitely check out. Leonard Cohen, I guess probably most famous song is Hallelujah. But really good songwriter. Has some really good songs. Some of his recordings, meh. He's one of those people that sometimes it's better when other people perform his songs. Well, we got a Chalice. That's about it. Yeah, super good song. Oh boy, Chalice. Super good songwriter. Well, Chalice on 0. Resolves. Arid Mesa. Go. Yeah, he died a couple of years ago. Oh, I forgot to... All right, remind me, we still got to tier rank the commanders. We're still going to do that. We're not going to crack this yet. Ooh, that's why. Well, Marsh Flats. Go. All right. Could use a showdown of this, Galls. That would be spectacular. About it. Alright, looks like they're going to be able to make some Rhinos. That's not good. Forest. Land. 40 power of Rhinos. Can we find a way to overcome 40 power of Rhinos? Probably not. Oh. What do you think about the Cascade deck in Modern? They have proven to be very consistent in doing exactly this over and over again, and 10 power on turn 2 is not especially easy to beat. I mean, we need to draw the... I don't know if it exists. Like, what can we even draw here? Definitely not more planes. That's not going to do it. Well, Chalice on 0. Well, this is disappointing. Meh. Well, yeah. Dying. Down to 12. Play Kiki. Wow, that's all they had too, but it's going to be enough. Opponent. Has a Fire Ice. Yeah, and that's game. Well, sometimes in Modern, your opponent just has the nut draw, and this was a case. They're one of Gemstone Caverns. They had the Brazen Borrower to answer Chalice. They also had the Shardless Agent. So if you could draw up the absolute 100% I cannot lose hand, our opponent had it. Surgical is real good in that matchup. How is Surgical good? I mean, I have decided to stop complaining about London Mulligans. Everyone knows my position. And it hasn't changed that it was a big negative for constructed formats in general, and especially constructed formats outside of standard. And maybe, I mean, I wonder if you can draw a direct line to Wizards having to power things down. Like, because that's the chicken egg argument that people always go to is like, oh, well, it's just the broken cards. It's not the London Mulligan rule. And maybe they're right. Maybe if all of your cards are, overcosted by 2 or 3 mana and not especially powerful, then why would you want a mulligan? nothing to mulligan into. If I was going to rank the new commanders, this is based on power level. If you haven't yet, were you planning on doing any Modern Cube? Unlikely that we do Modern Cube. We do play Cube on occasion, but Modern Cube is one of the more meh cubes. For me, I like on Moto the more powered cubes. So unlikely, especially since we have the release of AFR. So probably next limited we'll be playing will be AFR. We have a gift sub to Roro. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. I will say, I know, I promised. And you probably noticed, I've not complained about London Mulligans in a while. Because I figured it was getting old, even though I still firmly believe that it was a mistake. But, hey, what's up, boss man? But I still do believe that it was a mistake, and I do think it's kind of hilarious. I don't even think I complained about London Mulligans last week, did I? Maybe I did, and didn't remember it. I thought I hadn't for like many months, but maybe I'm not remembering it. But I will say, last little thing, and then we'll rank these commanders. I do think it's hilarious that the reason Wizards said they can't do different mulligan rules for different formats is because it's too complicated and people can't understand it. And then they have brought back phasing, they have made mutate, they have legal cards showing up in secret lair drops, just things that are like incredibly complicated. So I think that their reasoning for, oh well, we can't have one mulligan rule for like Modern and back and another one for standard and limited, I think that kind of falls apart if you actually look into it, because there's a lot of things that are more complicated than having two different mulligan rules based on different formats. I mean, we have people talking with a straight face about how there could be different cards in different clients. Like, let's errata cards on Arena and change them into their own thing. Oh, we gotta click yes. That will not play the same as in standard. Like, that's something we're talking about, but 2 mulligan rules is too complicated. All right, commander tier ranking. Number 4 on the list, Sephris of the Hidden Way. Sephris, I don't think is all that strong. I think Wizards worded this incredibly safely in a whole bunch of different ways. It can only venture once each turn. You have to specifically have a creature card put into your graveyard, not just any card. And then the reward for dungeon completion is returning a creature to your hand. It doesn't even reanimate it. So Sephris, I don't think it's like horrible, and if you want to play a Esper dungeon deck, it's probably going to be your commander, but I definitely would rank that at the very bottom of the list. I will say, the once per turn thing, I think that was necessary. I think it would be way too easy to combo off with this if you didn't have the once per turn restriction. If it had the ability to do it any number of times, you would be able to like Gravecrawler Phyrexian Altar loop super easily for infinite dungeon completion, so I think it did have to be worded safely. Apparently it returns the creature to the battlefield. Okay, that's slightly better, but I still think it's pretty bad. And that does not change my opinion, but that does make it slightly better than I thought it was. So that's number 4 on the list. Reading. There's so much text on these cards. Who's going to read them? Number 3 on our list, we have Prosper Tomebound. Prosper's sweet. It does 2 things you want in Commander. Draws you cards, makes mana. That's what Commander's all about. Ramping and drawing cards. But it's a 1/4 for 4. It doesn't do anything super unique. I guess the reward for playing it just doesn't really do anything. When it comes down to it. It generates card advantage in ramp. I guess having a reward of making a treasure whenever you play a card from exile is a bit of a build around, but really, it's not that much of a build around. So I think it's a fine commander, but I think it's a relatively boring and not super strong commander. As far as number 2 on our list, I think that the top I have these. I have Sephira's way at the bottom. I have Prosper kind in the middle, and then I have these last 2 ranked way higher than the rest of them. What is our... Okay, Crumbling Vestige. Number 2, we're entering in Gruul Land. Oh my god. All right, hang on. Let's play a turn or 2. We are making our opponent sit here forever. What do we find? Ooh, Cleansing Wildfire. Well, since we already have one, let's ramp with this one. Cleansing Wildfire. Yes. Get a Plains. Oh my god, that is exactly what we wanted to see. Get a Plains. Okay. That makes me feel much better about this matchup. Magus of the Moon. Probably good if this is Amulet Titan. Opponent, that's Bounce Land. Oh yes. Oh yes, oh yes. Let the tears commence. We will play a Ghost Quarter. We will play a Magus of the Moon, and we will win the game. You are go, mountain friend. Oh, I love Blood Moods. I love Blood Moods. We have a new donation from Dan Wildfire. $5 donation. Gonna have to disagree with you regarding Sephiroth. She's gonna be an awesome cycling commander. Ooh. I hadn't really considered the cycling power. Alright, well, pass the turn. Opponent, Gruul Turf. Alright. Enjoying their mountains, I assume. We will take up. We will play a mountain. We will go to Actually, you know what? Let's play it first. We will play Resto. Put a counter on Magus of the Moon. We will not blink. We will go to combat. We will hit you. Down to 15. I like where we are at. Pass the turn, opponent untaps. This has got to be game. And opponent scoops it up. All right, so as our opponent tries to figure out how to beat a Magus of the Moon, we will go back to sideboarding. Thank you for the donation, Doug. A cycling commander, eh? I mean, I guess it does work good with cycling creatures. You cycle, you venture. That is a pretty sweet synergy. That probably is the best way to build around it. Yeah, okay. That argument sold me a little bit. All right, number 2, we're going with Vandris, Rage of Ancients. The Gruul commander. Vandris I like for a couple of reasons. One is, it makes 5/4s whenever it gets in Rage, which is insane. Sure, they gotta sacrifice themselves when they deal damage, but that is a big reward. Like, a 5/4 is a big token. It's pretty easy to, Pyrohemia, activate it 3 times, make 15 power worth of creatures, and just smash people's face. If you want to go deeper, make your creatures grow as they take damage with, Rite of Passage. Then it gets even more insane. So I like that aspect of it. I like that it is a dice rolling commander, but that's not the only thing it does. The dice rolling commander also happens to be a commander that just works good as an Enrage commander, and there is not an Enrage commander. We have never had a legendary creature with Enrage, unless I missed something when I was looking into this card, but I'm pretty sure we haven't. So if you want to play like Enraged Dinosaurs or something, this is kind of flavorful. I wish it was like Dragon Dinosaurs. That would be kind of cool, but still, I think that Vandra's is sweet. Number 1, Galea, Kindler of Hope. I think this is the new best Bant Voltron commander. I think that it's better than Rafiq. I think that the card advantage it can generate is really crazy. It's also a 4 for 4, which is pretty powerful. You are going to have to build your deck around it, but I would say this is the most powerful of the bunch. So that would be my ranking. Sephiroth 5, although a little bit better than I gave it credit for, but I'm still keeping it at 5. Prosper 4, strong, but I'm not sure how you really build around it effectively. Vandra's 2, because it has the dice rolling component, but also Enrage component, and can build a big board. Galea number 1, probably the best new Bat Voltron commander. And if you want to build like Colossus Hammer shenanigans, it seems like the right way to get it done. So that is my commander tier list. What is your commander tier list, chat? Oh my god, we haven't sideboarded. What is your commander tier list, chat? How would you rank them? Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay, that's not optimal sideboarding, but we survived. There's 4. Wait, did I count them wrong? Oh, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's only 4 of them. I'm used to there being 5, so I think I started at 5 and then jumped the list. there's Dragonfire number 3. But yeah, no, there's only 4 of them. I told you, me and Math, ever since that game where Crim... Sounds pretty slow. Ever since that game where Crim won 5 coin flips in a row, me and Math we don't see eye to eye. I don't believe in it anymore. Kalen is dead last. Wizards almost gave White treasures and then decided that it was a nice thing, so White can't have it. Oh, poor White. Poor White. Always getting the short end of the stick. Well, tablet go. Oh, well, thank you, Master. I don't know power, but I like Vandra's, Prosper, Sephiroth. What are you most excited to build around? I mean, that's the more important question anyway. Like, what are you hyped to build? Because power level, really, like, that's not all that important. Oh, we probably got to kill a bounce land. Ooh, we want to do sweet things, but instead, bounce land's gotta go. Love the bounce land. Draw. Even more lands. The flood is on. Show us a Showdown of the Scalds or Magus of the Moon. About it. Oh my god, that was a strip mine. Oh wow, that was a... Wait. Oh no, we're good. Never mind. I forgot that they picked up their land on turn 1. A little overexcited. That certainly was not a strip mine. No brought-backs, no anything. Well, Arid Mesa, go. Working on a deck list right now for Far Ahead. What about the main set? I think that's an interesting question, because there's a lot of legends in this set. I mean, there's always a lot of legends, but... Dryad. Yeah. Land. Opponent. Passes. Well, we will crack thin the deck. Get a Plains. Draw a real card, please. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh, we're in. We're just in maximum flood mode at the moment. Well, sometimes you draw all the lands. I don't know what else to say. Sometimes all the lands are drawn. New camera's so much better. Looks great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was hoping it would. I think it turned out to be a big quality upgrade. Kalian, is that the treasure? Yeah, the treasure commander. I think that's actually a pretty good card. Like, Wily Goblin is proven itself to be way more playable than you would expect. Uh-oh. Well, here comes death. Yeah, I mean, this game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've drawn so many lands and so few action spells. Yeah, I mean, sure. I know we're not, like, technically 1,000,000% dead, but sure. Drizzt, is Drizzt, so, Doug, you're probably the biggest D&D expert I know in the chat. What is the, what are the 5 or 3 or whatever most iconic D&D characters that showed up? Like, if I was going to research just 3 of the characters that if showed up in Forgotten Realms that are the most important to D&D lore or most iconic, whatever, what would those be? Because I don't know D&D. Like, I know that beholders are a thing, and I've heard little bits and pieces. Drizzt, Tiamat, Mordenkainen. Ooh, so Mordenkainen is actually like a pretty iconic character. Minsk. What is the go for the eyes thing? Is that actually a thing that Minsk says? Mordenkainen been around forever, so I assume Mordenkainen. Does he have a blue dog? Like, why does he make a blue illusion dog? Is that like his pet or something? Oh, you know the other thing. You know the other thing I forgot to tell you. I have to get a picture. Uh, my brother has 2 Rottweilers, and they just had their puppies on Sunday. So I got to see the puppies, and they're like they're so little. Like they're like hours old. They're like tiny, 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 and they can't open their eyes, and they can't even really walk. They just kind of scoot around. Now I kind of want a Rottweiler puppy because they're the cutest. They were just the cutest little things. Bahamut. Bahamut is the white planeswalker, I think. Yeah, Bahamut. So Bahamut's pretty iconic as well. All right, so to all of you who know D&D, what is what is the biggest miss in the set flavor wise? And for this question, I am going to say Terrasque, whatever, I know I'm not saying it the right way, is excluded. You cannot answer the dinosaur mythic whose name I apparently pronounced wrong, because everyone agrees that's a flavor fail. Discounting that, is there anything else that really sticks out as they whiff? Because I know overall the flavor appears to be really dead on from what everyone's saying. Anything else that would count as a miss? Well, Aaron Mesa, go. Bahamut. Uncommon Blue Dragon? Well, I mean, if we're down to Uncommon Blue Dragons as being our misses, then they must have done a pretty good job. Drizzt stronger, or at least more able to build around. Yeah, Drizzt doesn't seem super weak, but it doesn't seem super easy to build around either. Well, I guess we... So if we ramp here... I don't think we can wait until we get to... How long can we wait? If we get to 4 mana, the Monk class enchantment... Ooh, what's the matter with Monk class enchantment? Elmster. Elmster, is that the biggest exclusion? So, how about this? Is there enough iconic D&D stuff missing? Is there enough iconic D&D stuff missing that we could have Adventures in the Forgotten Realms 2? Or did Wizards shoot their one shot and put everything in there, and it is what it is? They figured they got one chance, and they're going all the way. There's easily enough to do another one. All right. Well, I think we're just gonna ramp Arid Mesa, crack it. Plains, Arid Mesa, crack it. Plains. Bring them back, bring them back. I mean, there's potential for an even more explosive turn where we wait until we can Avalanche Rider, but I think Avalanche Rider, Ephemera Avalanche Rider, Ephemera Avalanche Rider, that should still be relatively effective against our opponent's deck. Abrail Grazer. Alright, opponent's getting their ramp on. We will untap, we will crack Arid Mesa. Get a Mountain. Crack Arid Mesa. Get a Sacred Foundry. Down to 14. Draw Felidar Guardian. Well, Sacred Foundry untapped. Avalanche Rider. Blow up your breeding pool. Ephemera Avalanche Rider. Blow up your Castle Garant Brick. Pass the turn. Alright, Avalanche Rider, this is what we've been dreaming of. Amulet for our opponent. And a bounce. Oh no. Oh no. Is this going to let our opponent win? No. Tireless Tracker. Opponent. Okay, we might be okay. Opponent passes. Well, stack things properly. Rebound. Blank Avalanche Rider. Blow up a land. No echo. Felidar Guardian. Blink Avalanche Rider. Blow up a land. Go to combat, attack you. Opponent blocks. Fury. Kill your stuff. Pass the turn. Alright. We did what we could. Opponent plays a land. We only have a 1 power clock. We need a showdown of the Scalds. Or a Kiki. Or a Flagstones. Okay. I mean, our opponent will rebuild. And Primeval Titan will kill us. Like, we do need to find a way to close out this game. Opponent. Bounce land. Float some mana. Are we going to blow up 4 lands and our opponent's still going to win? That would be a good sign that Primeval Titan probably needs to be out of here. Brought back. Not helpful. Oh my god, we're gonna blow up 5 lands and lose. Or 4. Opponent. Teleria West. Untaps it. Bounce land. Primeval Titan. Game. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's just game. I mean, yeah. Primeval Titan. Good, clean, fair magic, that's for sure. And that's 12 damage. I mean, like, what do you like? What do you do? We blew up four lands against a deck that is a Primeval Titan deck that needs 6 lands in play, and it didn't even matter a little bit. Nothing. Opponent had 0 lands in play. And it was nothing. It won 2 turns later. Swing for 0 for the 45th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, what do you do about that, though? Stopping their combo is stronger than... Well, if we keep waiting, though... If we keep waiting, don't we risk them just playing Primeval Titan and winning? Should Ingot... Yeah, that would have been a great idea if it was in our hand or deck. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, well, that was a little bit depressing, actually, just because it felt like our deck did something that should have been enough to stop the menace that is Primeval Titan, but it was not. Not even a little close. It's gonna be very interesting to see how Modern shakes out. We've talked about this a few times before, but now, thanks to Urza Saga, they just always have it. That's the second match in a row. We won our first 2 matches. Last match, in game 3, our opponent had the turn 2, the gemstone mine, turn 2 cascade into 10 power. And it was just like, we couldn't do anything about it. That game, in game 3, we blew up 4 lands against the land deck, and it didn't even matter. The monkey's insane. Like, Ragavan's insane. It's somewhere between really, 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 really good and broken. It's one of those cards. It's like what's the best example? It's like It's like the flashback creature whose name I'm not thinking of at the moment. That just got banned in Legacy. We just played against a couple rounds ago. I have no idea why I cannot think of this thing's name at the moment. Oh, Dreadhorde Arcanist, of course, duh. But it's like a Dreadhorde Arcanist that costs 1 mana. It's like an Arcanist that's 1 mana. Like and it's just so snowbally. It's like, sure, if you can kill it literally on turn 1, it's fine. But if it gets to hit you for 2 or 3 turns, it essentially wins the game. And I can't really think of another 1-drop that does that. Like, is there another 1-drop that wins the game on its own? I mean, Goblin Lackey. I guess maybe Goblin Lackey is the best comparison. Where Goblin Lackey, like, either you kill it on turn 1, or they're dumping Siege Gang Commander or Muxus or something into play and you just lose. So maybe that's the better comparison. But yeah, it just snowballs ridiculously hard. I'm not saying it needs to be banned. For some reason, whenever I say, like, oh, I think a card's really good, some people take that to mean it needs to be banned, and that's not what I'm saying. But it is incredibly powerful. I think in the light of the huge increase of power, thanks to Modern Horizons 2 and Modern Horizons 1, and I hope we keep making Horizon sets. I expect we will. This looks like Cascade again, I would guess. It might be time to revisit the modern ban list from the other perspective, where rather than focusing on what needs to be banned, and I still think there are cards that probably should be banned. Like, I wouldn't start with, it's a Stoneforge deck. I wouldn't start with Ragavan and whatnot as much as I would be looking at things like the free spells still. Like, there's the Cauldra. I would be looking at free spells like Manamorphose, like Mishra's Bauble. I would also, and this might just be my personal bias, but I also really dislike Companions still. Like, I strongly still dislike Companions. Still think they are just like a horrible design failure and huge mistake. So, Lurrus would be another card that would potentially be on the list. Primeval Titan's an interesting one. I think, Lurrus, my problem with Lurrus is I just can't imagine seeing it staring back at me 1 out of every 4 games, 1 out of every 4 matches, forever. Like, that's the problem with the mechanic. Like, if it's good enough to be playable, it's just demoralizing. And it makes the format feel so much less diverse than it actually is, which I think is kind of a pretty big negative. Well, that's Solitude. Pitching. Huh. What are we pitching? Solitude pitching. Felidare Guardian. Get rid of the Stoneforge. I wish we had another mana. But we gotta answer this, because once Calder comes down, it's just game over. Or just ban the word companion. That would be fine. Like, I don't mind that Lurrus is a card. I actually think in the 99, Lurrus is a powerful but interesting card. But it's more the, like, psychological impact of it just being there every single time. There's no, like, part of what makes Magic fun is even if you play a good, maybe the best example of this, I think, would be Tron. When you play against Tron and what are we taking? Let's take Recruiter. When you play against Tron, and maybe you really dislike Tron. I don't know who would dislike Tron, but let's say you really dislike Tron. There's always a chance they don't draw the Karn. Like, sure, they assemble Tron, but there's always that hope. You always have hope that maybe they will not draw the Karn, and then you still got a chance. Like, it's possible that you could still win the game. Companions take that sliver of hope away because they're always there. So there's no hope that, oh, maybe they won't draw it this time. That's just not even within the realm of possibility. Well, get in with the Imperial Recruiter. Sometimes it's Ugin. The deck's been really sweet. We lost 2 really close games. We're 2-0, and then we lost 2 really, really close kind of nut-drawy matches for our opponent to fall to 2-2. But the deck has actually felt really good. Huh. Actually, let's play Marsh Flats. If our opponent wants to counter our Cleansing Wildfire, I guess that's fine. Blood Flagstones. I mean, eventually we should be able to set up Kiki. What is the object of this deck? Alright, so opponent does want to counter. Well, we will pass the turn. This deck gets a lot of graveyardy value with Brought Back, and then it has Kiki to combo off and win the game. But we can do a lot of sweet shenanigans, which we were going to do there if we didn't get counterspelled, but we can do a lot of sweet shenanigans with Brought Back. Opponent. Teferi. And takes up Teferi. Well, that's pretty good against our brought-backs. Oh boy. Yeah, Teferi locks down a lot of our funness. Well, this is depressing, but Imperial Recruiter. I wish we could ephemerate and whatnot, but Imperial Recruiter. We know two of our opponent's cards are, or one of our opponent's cards is Caldra, so they only have two unknowns. And I haven't got to see Saga and EDH very much. I do feel like you should play Urza Saga in very close to 100% of non-budget decks. I think you should play it in essentially 100% of non-budget decks, because getting a Soul Ring, a Mana Crypt, or Mana Vault, like even that, if those are your three artifacts, that is totally worth it. So unless budget is a concern, then I think you should just basically always play it. What do you think the standard 2022 meta will look like? It's actually very difficult to say at this point, because we don't have Innistrad yet, and we're going through a huge shakeup. Like, it's hard to overstate how big of a shakeup we're going to be going through. Well, get in. Attack the Teferi. Opponent takes it. Well, I would like to get rid of Teferi. Opponent going to counter. Limrisk. Welcome to the Fishbowl for the 8th month. Thank you for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Opponent counters Skyclave. Keeps the Teferis alive. Teferi. Teferi. Bane of our existence. Well, Ephemerate. Thank you for the cheer, by the way. Ephemerate. Imperial Recruiter. Gets a Skyclave Apparition. Can we beat a Teferi? Is it possible? Opponent attempts. Our opponent mulligan this game too, and they are back to being very far ahead. I wish that we had time without Eldraine before the new set was added. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking at it as standard restarts once we get to rotation. Stoneforge again. Sword of Feast and Famine. Yeah, we're just Teferi locked. There's so much sweet stuff we could do, but Teferi has shut it down. Can't cast Ephemerate. Teferi. We will attempt to Skyclave Apparition. Wow, alright. It resolved, but it's way too late to matter. So I guess we eat the Teferi. Play the Marsh Flats. Pass the turn. Well, we'll see. These brought-backs, if there's no Teferi, can actually function. Hey, what's up, Alberto? How are you? I mean, maybe we can get value out of our namesake card now. How would you build Prosper Tomebound for Commander? I mean, I think it's mostly just a value-y good stuff Commander. So I would focus on adding in as many... They have another one? All right, Prismatic Ending. I would focus on adding in as many things that allow you to cast cards from exile as possible, like Chandras and all those enchantments, the exile, all that kind of stuff. So I'd add as much of that stuff as possible, but I think it's really mostly just a good stuff value commander. Opponent. Caldra has arrived. Now block and block. We will brought back the Imperio recruiters. Come on, brought back. Save us. So we get to do some tutoring. But we don't have a way to win. We don't have the Felidar Guardian yet. So we still need an extra combo piece. Oh, all right. Imperial Recruiter. Get a... Kiki Jiki. Imperial Recruiter. Give Felidar Guardian. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we need 2 turns. Somehow. We draw land. Well, play Felidar Guardian. Blink Imperial Recruiter. Imperial Recruiter. Magus of the Moon. Crack it. Plains. Magus of the Moon. Will it be enough? We know a sword's coming. Wow, this is close. Would Foretell work with Prosper Second ability? Yes, Foretell works, Suspend works, Cascade works. So there actually is a lot of things that work. Well, we'll see. We'll see what answers they have. Opponent gonna go to combat. Gets to untap all their mana. We take 7. Yep. We discard brought back. Opponent. Scoops it up. Oh! Madness also cast from exile. So I guess there's a bunch of shenanigans like that. I think Friday we will be able to show off the rest of the precon. And the rest of the precon will hopefully maybe point you in some directions of possibilities, because we do a whole like spoiler breakdown. I don't know if you saw our last preview for a commander deck where we kind of like went over every card and talked about all the cards, the theme of the deck, the numbers of things in the deck. So we do that again with this deck. So hopefully that'll be helpful. So I guess there are some cast from exile shenanigans, although I don't know if there's enough of any of them to like build a full deck, like especially in Prosper's colors. So I think what you're going to end up with is sort of like a mishmash of cast from exile stuff, like maybe of Bituminous Blast is a removal spell. Maybe a Throw of Chaos seems really good because it's repeated Cascade. So you have a little bit of that. And then maybe you have a bit of Suspend. I don't know what good Suspend cards would be worth it in its colors. I guess you could play Gargadon. The Phyphis maybe would be good enough. Glimpse of Tomorrow would be kind of funny. Profane Tutor obviously goes up in value because you would get a treasure out of Prosper. Rebound would be another one. I don't know how many black rebound cards there are. Autumn Shank, welcome to Fishbowl. Consuming Vapors. I definitely play Consuming Vapors. I'd consider Faithless Salvaging. Probably Surreal Memoir if you had enough spells in your deck. So I think that's what you'd end up with, is kind of this mismatch. And then, of course, anything that's Exile Cast or Exile Play, I think goes way, way up in value, which gives you, like, various Chandras. Ragavan, I guess, technically works. Tibalt seems very synergistic. So there's some tricks. There's some shenanigans for building around Prosper. I guess we should sideboard real quick. Opponent's playing Control. Actually, Stoneblade, but no. I guess Rip Apart's in. Go down. One Fury. Go down Dranith Magistrate. Go down an Ephemera. It's pretty bad against a Fairy. Maybe an Avalanche Rider. Try it like that. Yeah, the Chaos Cascade card's sweet, because you can just do it again and again. Like, the repeatability is really, really, really nice. Ooh, Mizzix Mastery could be cool. Well, no, Flashback is not Exile, though. I guess Mizzix Mastery exiles and then lets you cast, so Mizzix Mastery in specific would work. Ooh. Wow. No interaction, but this is technically like Imperial Recruiter, Felidar Guardian combo. Is that worth it? Is that enough? Probably not. Yeah, we got a mulligan. Now we got the Felidar Guardian. This one we probably got to keep because we're already on 6. Isochron Scepter. Wait, does Isochron Scepter let you cast from exile? Isochron Scepter. Isochron Scepter. When it enters the battlefield, exile instant sorcery mana or instant mana value 2 or less. You may copy the exiled card. When you do, you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. You may copy the exiled card. Does that work? Does copying a card in exile and casting it work as casting it? Does that count? I'm actually not 100% sure. Lenter for the 3rd month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to you for you. Thank you. Well, this hand's not ideal. Gonna need some help. Opponent. Well, I mean, I think that specifically says cast the copy, though, doesn't it? Didn't we just read it? Let's look at Scepter again. Isochron Scepter. Opponent can get a land. You may copy the exiled card. If you do, you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. So I think in this case you do. Wow, Sanctifier. Huh. I don't even know if that's good against us, but sure. Well, let's Flagstones. Cleansing Wildfire Flagstones. Get a Plains. Draw a Sacred Foundry. Get a Sacred Foundry. Alright, well. Getting a ramp on. Pass the turn. Does Scepter double trigger Magecraft? It's a good question. Like, just reading the words on it, it sounds like yes. Copy cast. But that doesn't sound right in practice. So I'm going to say no. Even though if you just read the words, it does sound that way. I think it's all one It's all one mode. Like, it all happens at once. Alright, opponent, pass the Felidar Guardian. Sure. Well, untap a land. Showdown of the Scalds. Showdown of the Scalds would be our best thing to draw and resolve here. Would also accept some land destruction in Avalanche Rider. Brawback is really cool. This deck is actually really fun. I really like its play style. And Brawback is just, it's a neat card. Opponent sanctifies us. Down to 16. Sure. And passes. Ghost Quarter. Well, play Marsh Flats. Go. Well, maybe we run out. Let's run out Felidar Guardian. Might as well. Blink a land. We can save it with Ephemerate if we need to. Pass the turn. At least it gives us a blocker. Opponent. Cycles a Triope. Sure. I mean, if we win this, the kids get a snack. We feed the children. Opponent goes to combat. Magecraft triggers off copying spells or casting spells. Scepter copies a card. Yeah, I think that makes sense. You copy the card and cast the spell. So you're not casting... You are casting the copy, but you are casting the copy, but you're not casting the spell, if that makes sense. It's not super intuitive. Do you think an Exis Sacrifice deck has a chance after rotation in Standard? I found that Woe Strider, a Crow in War, Claim the Firstborn do not have a substantial impact on the game, but Bastion of Remembrance is certainly one of the big win cons. So I would say yes, although, like you, I'm a little nervous about no Bastion of Remembrance. I think that could be a card that could get replaced, though. It's possible that we get a replacement in the Innistrad set. And if we do, then I think the deck's good to go. But even without it, you could probably still make it work. Crystal Genesis, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Untap. So many brought backs. Well, Ghost Quarter. Pass the turn. Ooh, when this deck floods, it really floods. Is there any other good sources of card advantage that would work with the brought back theme? I feel like the games in the control matchups where you draw a showdown of the Skulls go really well, but the games where we don't, we are apt to sometimes just like flood out like this. Snapcaster. For Path to Exile. Yeah. I mean, Lotus Field doesn't generate card advantage, though, right? Lotus Field, I mean, you can do cute ramp shenanigans, but... So it would give us even more ramp. But I don't think that it... I don't think it would help generate card advantage, per se. Tier list of AFR Mythic Planeswalkers. Ooh. Oh, come on now. That might be our last tier list of the day. All right, well, we've gotten every land possible out of our deck. Almost. Opponent gets to get in and untap all their lands. Opponent drew an ungodly number of paths this game. Well, crack a Marsh Flats. Thin the deck. I mean, we're pretty much... Wow, we literally have every... like every land out of our deck, quite literally. Ghost Quarter you. Might as well. Opponent has a basic. Well, brought back. Get back the 2 lands. Can we cast an Emrakul? We actually have Avalanche Rider and Evoke Creatures. Card advantage. Something that generates card advantage. Those are many things that we have in the deck. But I wouldn't mind more Showdown of the Skulls to avoid this flood out scenario, which is where the deck ends up feeling at its worst. Nothing to rebound. I'll crack Marsh Flats. Maybe this deck could play sack lands. Maybe this deck needs some Horizon lands. That might be a possibility. Because wow, those actually seem insane. I don't know whoever built this deck. I don't know why they didn't think of those, but those seem insanely perfect for this deck. Skyclave Apparition. I guess get rid of the sword. Pass the turn. Wall of Omens might not be. Ooh, Bobble and Luris. I don't think we have the right mana values to make Luris work, but Bobble could work. Hey, what's up, Sammy Fisher Teddy? How are you? About it. Goes to combat. Big attack. Well, we will block and kill a Sanctifier and Vec. Opponent gets a token. We will Ghost Quarter. See how many basics they got. The answer is still more. We will brought back. Might as well. Get rid of Stoneforge. Untap. Please, real card. Oh, no! Brought back again. Okay. More brought backs, but nothing to bring back. Opponent plays. Wow, they got so many basics. It is going to be hard to strip mine them out of the game. Opponent goes to combat, attacks. Hits us for a few billion. We will take it. We need a real draw. We need a real draw, and we need it right now. We need to somehow resolve. Oh my god, we drew it, but it's not going to resolve. That's the draw we needed, but it might be too late. No counter. Oh, jeez. Of course, they have a counter. Yeah. Wow, how many real cards did we draw this game? Not many. Opponent goes to combat, attacks. It's only a real card if it resolves. We got a chump. We go to 1. Can we get another Showdown of this calls? That Showdown would be so insane with the brought back number 40 in hand. I mean, I guess we're just seeing, I think in some sense we're seeing the downside of brought back, which is while it is explosive and has a really high ceiling, it also has a very, very low floor. In that game, we got to see the floor of playing a whole bunch of brought backs, which is if you don't got anything good to put back into play, it just doesn't do anything. So I guess we got to see the drawback too. Yeah, the floor is basically a dead card. The ceiling is very, very high, but it is definitely a very, very swingy high variance card. All right. Tier ranking of the Planeswalkers from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. Number 5 on our list. I guess we got to go to Mythics here. Number 5 on our list, and this is pretty easy. Eliwick Tumblestrom. Eliwick, if you're playing the Venture deck, it's fine, but now that we've seen the whole set, Venture doesn't look all that push. Dungeons, I'm still hopeful after rotation. Maybe there can be a sweet, like, 2nd or 3rd tier fun deck that can win some games. But I definitely don't think it's a return of energy. I definitely don't think it's breaking standard. So, because the mechanic that Eliwick needs to be good is kind of medium rather than super pushed. I would put Eliwick at number 5 on the Planeswalker tier list. Number 4 on the Planeswalker tier list, I'm going to go with Zerial. Zerial, I think it's powerful. It's like a Goblin Bushwhacker on a Planeswalker. It makes tokens. It can pump those tokens. The emblem's okay. It's a little weird. It only works with one creature. But I think that it is narrow. Zerial goes in go wide aggro creature style decks. I think Zerial not super good at defending itself, only 4 mana though, and I think it can be good in those style of decks. I'm thinking like Transmogrify in Standard, so that would put it at number 4. I think there probably is an archetype for Zerial, but I don't think it's a Planeswalker that can just go in a whole bunch of different decks. Number 3 on our Planeswalker list, I'm going to go with Loth Spider Queen. So Loth, it doesn't look all that powerful, although it does have a card advantage, 0, which is nice. The big deal about Loth is in a sack deck, it can gain a ridiculous amount of loyalty. Whenever a creature you control dies, you get to put loyalty counters on it. Maybe this is the Bastion of Remembrance. Like, maybe this is a replacement for the sack decks. You play this, you get to the ultimate by sacking creatures, you can ultimate the first turn, and then you're guaranteed as long as you hit your opponent to hit them for at least 8 each turn, or up to 8 each turn. So that's actually a really fast clock. -3 looks like a lot, but when you consider the discount that you're getting on the loyalty by getting loyalty for free as things die, and that there are 2/1s with menace and reach, I actually think Lulz is pretty decent. Number 2, Mordenkainen. Yeah, podcast is going up in about 10 minutes. Like, as soon as we finish this match in the stream, next thing I'm doing is uploading the podcast. We recorded a day late because of the holiday yesterday. Number 2, Mordenkainen, 6 mana is a ton, but it does a lot of good things. I mean, +2 to See the Beyond. Draw 2, pull 1 back, really strong. -2, the dogs are going to be massive. Not good pre-rotation because of Brazen Borrower, but after rotation in a control deck, you can -2 twice and make like 2 14/14s or something. And then the ultimate, it's like Enter the Infinite. It should just win you the game. Number 1, I'm sticking to it. Maybe this is the new circle of loyalty. Maybe I'm going to eat my words. Definitely possible. But I'm sticking with Grandmaster of Flowers. I like how it defends itself. I like how it synergizes with Mordenkainen. You can tutor up the monks and then put them back in your deck with Mordenkainen's +2. Kind of a J Squatter Dog type synergy. And then it becomes a 7/7, which closes out the game really quickly. So that would be my tier ranking of the Planeswalkers. All right, we're keeping. A little bit land heavy, but we got it brought back. We have a rip apart, so we're not just going to get janked out by a Stoneforge. Yeah, I think you could see a little bit of the influence of the core set that this was initially. Oh, did I? I didn't actually realize I Wooburged them. No, they were not Wooburged. Oh, actually, maybe reverse Wooburg. Oh, Esper Sentinel. Interesting. Is it worth pitching something to Solitude? Probably not. The only bad news is I don't really like letting our opponent draw cards, but we really want to ramp here, so we're going to wait till our opponent's upkeep. Play around Force Negation. Crack an Arid Mesa. Get a Plains. Crack a Marsh Flats. Get a Plains. Brought back both lands. Opponent gets to draw a card. Sadly. No. Esper Sentinel doing work. Alright, lands are back. Now we get to see the ceiling of brought back, and that might not even be the ceiling, but that's our Boros stack untapping with 5 mana on turn 3, which is absurd. Did you know that the Immortal Sun only stops loyalty abilities by walkers and not all loyalty abilities? So as long as Bahamut is already at 7, he dodges the Immortal Sun. Ooh, that is a neat twist that I hadn't really thought of. I like it. Well, play Flagstones. Pass the turn. What do you got, opponent? What do you got, Cracks? Polluted Delta. Well, this might be our window. Crack Arid Mesa. Get a Mountain. Crack Marsh Flats. Get a Sacred Foundry. Run out a Solitude. Get rid of the Esper Sentinel. Pass the turn. All right, we're off to a better start this time. Do you think that current meta of free spells will progress into a warping of gameplay forever? So far, I have very much liked the free spells from Modern Horizons do. So far. So, I'm leaning towards no. The free spells that I actually have the biggest issue with are the ones that can be used more offensively. Like, in all honesty, it's stuff like Manamorphose and Mishra's Bauble. Those are the free spells that have definitely given me personally the hardest time in Modern. Those are used to make decks more aggressive and faster, rather than, I guess, the opposite of kind of defensively like the elementals are. They also tend to be card positive rather than forcing you 2-for-1 yourself. Alright, we untap. Well, we're back to our traditional plan of flooding out a bit. Well, rip apart the Stoneforge. Pay the 1. Come on, deck. Get us this treasure chest. They got a sort of Fire and Ice, so they might actually have Calder in hand. Opponent going to counter. No, pay the 1. Play the land. Go to combat. Attack you. Opponent takes it. Well, Restoration Angel. Blink the Solitude. Get rid of the Stoneforge. Pass the turn. Come on. If you could be the first to choose your commander from AFR, what would you choose and how would you build it? Oh, that is a really good question that I have not thought through that much yet. Wow. Okay. Grown the Dork. I guess protection from red is relevant against our Fury. Opponent. Passes. That's a draw. That is a draw. Well, let's just, can we play everything? Skyclave Apparition. Get rid of the sword. Oh, do we go for it? Do we go for it? If we empty our hand and they have a Wrath, they can't. Can they really be Wrathing in their Esper Sentinel deck? If they have a Wrath, we get so blown out. On the other hand, they can't have Wraths, right? Just beat down, hold on to the Fury. Well, I mean, I guess that's fine. Attack, attack. Opponent takes it. We will pass the turn. down to 6. Can almost taste the treasure chest. Or on a rampage. An opponent scoops it up. Did not need the fury. And we were so close. So close to 5-0ing that league. Like, not saying we should have 5-0'd or anything, because we shouldn't have. Our opponents beat us in some of the games. But our 2 losses were 3-game matches that came down to really, really close games. I like this deck. I wish there was another source of card advantage to avoid those flat-out games. I think that the first thing I will add to this deck is actually just a sack land. I think Sunbaked Canyon, that might solve our problem. Sunbaked Canyon seems so perfect to the point where I'm kind of surprised it wasn't already in this deck. We don't need 4. I don't think we need 4 Sacred Foundries. I think we go down like 2 Sacred Foundries or 3 Sacred Foundries. Maybe go down a fetch land, maybe you go down a plains, but I feel like this is the solution. Like Sunbaked Canyon seems so perfect. It works with brought back, it gives us fled out protection, seems absolutely ideal for the deck. But I really like this deck. I think this deck's actually really unique and pretty fun. Most importantly, we get a treasure chest. So let's crack it open. Sometimes it only takes 1. We haven't opened a good chest for a while. We're due. 1 of 1 treasure chest. Can we get a complete set? Old Border Fetch Land. Tezzeret the Seeker. I do love me some Tezzeret. One of my favorite Planeswalkers. Top 3 in my Planeswalker ranking, but not worth much. And Pentarch Paladin. 5 mana, 3/3 Human Knight flanking. When it enters the battlefield, choose a color, destroy a permanent of the chosen color. Well, kind of a cool time spiral card, but not very a good one. Oh. On that note, everyone, I think that pretty much brings us to the end of our stream for today. There's good news, though. Good news is I'm about to run off and upload the podcast. So the podcast is going to be coming up shortly. Good news is we got a sweet budget magic. No. Against the Odds, going up on the YouTube tomorrow, playing some more Modern that is pretty spicy. So a card we've been waiting for a long time. Braids finally won. Tomorrow, Braids Cabal Minion. Can it work in Modern? That's Against the Odds tomorrow. Yes, Against Odds Braids finally. Of course, you can see all the old streams on the replay. One more reminder that our sponsor today is the ever awesome Card Kingdom. I still think Braids would be broken. If it was legal as your commander, the cry shouldn't be free Braids. The cry should be bring back Band as your commander. Card Kingdom, that's when you get all your magic cards. Adventures of Forgotten Realms, Fidel Ganoris, cool looking Nethroids. You can get them all there and more by heading over to cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. Even get a free sticker. Let them know you want when they'll hook you up. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. Thursday, Adventures of Forgotten Realms. Probably testing out some new standard would be my guess. We usually do limited at some point, but I think Thursday, since there's no early access day, will kind of be our play a whole bunch of different deck stream. Might be a little bit longer. I don't think it's going to be like a 10-hour stream or anything, but it might be slightly longer than normal. But on that note, everyone, I'm going to go upload the podcast. Y'all are amazing and awesome. Thursday, come back for more fun. Check out Adventures of the Forgotten Realms. That's next on the list. So until then, everyone, thanks again so much for being awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great night. Have a great Wednesday. And I'll see you on Thursday for Adventures in the Forgotten Realms.